Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's Saturday. It's match day. There's Tottenham playing. There's Aston Villa playing. Obviously, Southampton are playing Tottenham. Wolves are playing. There's lots of games today. Chelsea are playing Everton at 5:30. Man City are playing Burnley in the FA Cup. And more important than all of that, I have at the Perchy TV with me. Perchy, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. How's it been with you?
All right, yeah. But had a busy morning, got my hair done. Trying to still look like I'm 20, even though I'm some years older. Some might say just some years older. But yeah, cool, all good. So guys, I think Kuva might be joining us at some point. But Perchy, let's talk about football. Let's have a laugh. Let's talk about football. Today's games, we've got Aston Villa at home to Bournemouth, Brentford at home to Leicester. Am I looking at Liverpool home to Fulham was postponed. Southampton home to Tottenham, bottom of the table. Southampton, Tottenham chasing fourth, and then you've got two teams that find themselves right down there in a relegation battle: Wolves and Leeds. Top of that, you've got Chelsea Everton in the 5:30 kickoff, with Chelsea looking to make it 4 wins in a row in all competitions, and 3 in the Premier League. And then you've got Man City Burnley in the FA Cup this afternoon. Let's start with Tottenham. I know that's
always a starting point, isn't it?
Always a starting point. Yeah, look, and we've got about 23 minutes until kickoff. So Tottenham have gone unchanged. Beat Nottingham Forest 3-1 in what you would say was a comfortable victory last week, I would say, and we've gone unchanged. Bottom of the table, Southampton. I'm going to start like this, Perchy. There can't be any excuses, can there, for not beating the bottom of the table team?
I say this all the time. There shouldn't be any excuses losing to these sort of games. We've got a better side than they have. But then I have seen us lose away games. I've seen us lose to Leicester this season, where we got absolutely humbled in a team that was bang average. But I said we'll win 2-0 comfortably. I think we should be. It won't be an easy game. I think they'll look for it to try and get a result in some sort of way, like nick a point if they can. But I think we've got enough quality going forward. And I'm happy he's stayed with the team. I think rightly so. I thought, as I said, the Forest game, you mentioned that. And I said it was the best first half of football I've seen us play all season. People say, yeah, but it's the opposition. It's not the point. First half, I've seen us play really crap oppositions this season and look really poor. And we need more of the same. Start the game really strong and see how it goes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, one of the things, by the way, big up to Aditya who's in the chat. We've got King in the Indies in the chat. Big up to you as well. We've got Greco Christos in the chat. There's someone called Perchy TV. He's even in the chat. This guy's in the chat. Everyone's in the chat. Listen, it's not a live watch along, by the way. We're just going to do all the scores as they come in. However, I will have the Spurs game on in the background, and I'll have all the other scores come rolling in. And soon we'll be challenging BT and Sky for their dominance. I joke, of course. I jest, sorry, of course. Susan Abdul said, big up Petchy. I like that. Petchy, sure.
Oh, she's doing it on purpose. Big up the missus.
That's cool. Is that your missus?
That's the big up the missus.
Oh, go on the missus. Well done, the wifey. Look, getting back on Spurs, Aditya has asked this question, and I was going to talk to you about this. Porro's come in the last few games. He's starting again today. Are we now seeing the changing of the guard during to do with the right wing back position? Are we now seeing that Porro is the attacking player coming in, and that is the player that Antonio Conte wants to rely upon?
No, I don't think it's a change. I think what we've got now is we've got two wing backs that do two different things, and they're used correctly at the moment. We should be playing a more attacking right wing back than we should be playing a more attacking right wing back against a really average Southampton side. However, when we go to Anfield away, I expect players like Emerson Royale to play because he's much more defensive minded. So I think we're finally using. It's the first time I've seen us actually start using players correctly instead of just playing an 11 and just sticking at it. We've got certain players that are used in certain areas.
Yeah, I mean, look, afternoon, Kuva, welcome. It's been a long time. I feel like it's been maybe a week since I've seen your face.
Yeah, I've had a rough week, to be honest.
Yeah, how you feeling?
Yeah, really bad fever all last weekend and just felt wiped out all week, but sort of coming around now. So just in time for Spurs, eh? That'll
listen
right up, won't it?
Absolutely. Some might say it will perchy you right up.
It might.
That was terrible. That was awful. Yeah, I thought you were just ignoring me since the rebrand, Coover. I thought that you don't know.
Yeah, that's it. Who knows anymore? Who knows anymore? What are you exactly?
Who am I? Who am I?
Coover's going back to Coover's Talks Football. He's going to take over it.
Just go with Team Flip Flop. That'll do.
I was thinking of calling the channel Savva in the Mud, just seeing how much traction I got that way and taking it from there. But Coover, we were starting. We're going to talk about all the clubs and doing all the scores coming in. But we started with that club that we all love and hate in equal measures, Tottenham Hotspur. I was just asking Perchy about the whole right wing back situation. It feels to me, and I could be completely wrong here, that Porro's just starting now to get his feet under the table and starting to get that run of games. Is this going to be a rotation thing, or do you think we're seeing now that Porro's going to be his number one and Royal will dip in and out every 3 or 4 games? What do you make of that situation?
Well, if we've bought Porro for that kind of money and we're not making him our number one right wing back, then I'm worried. He's surely got to be the way forward. He's an attacking talent. We're severely lacking creativity. I'm all for it. Let's have him, see if we can get the best out of Perisic. Tell Perisic as well, forget even trying any defensive work. Just stay offered as a winger. That's fine.
Yeah.
Put in quality crosses and dead balls and, create something anyway. Need to get the best out of Kulasavsky again because he's dipped off form. But I think if he's got a man bombing down the wing outside him in Porro, that's going to help him too. A little bit more attacking intent. Throwing bodies forward. That's one of the biggest gripes I've had about this Conte style of play. I don't think we get enough men forward. I think I'd like to see more people getting into the box and just having a go. That's what football is about. To dare is to do. I mean,
isn't that someone's club motto?
I think we changed it now, haven't we?
Yeah, it's a club that's been stolen by somebody, and I want it back.
Yeah.
I want it back.
So I'm all for it. Porro all the way. It's one of the few things worth watching at the moment. I think. Hopefully, him and Kulasavsky on form. I'll start tuning in again. I'll be bothered because I haven't been the last few weeks. It's been better not watching. Today is one of those games though. It's Southampton. I mean, I think when they had I've forgotten the manager now. Hassan Hutel.
Hassan Hutel. Yeah.
When he's one of those. He was one of those managers where lose 9-0 one week, then go and win at Man City 1-0 the next.
Yeah, literally.
And it was literally 9-0, wasn't it? There was a couple of 9-0s.
No, they lost. He's the first manager to lose 9-0 twice in over 2 seasons. It was well mad. Like,
Yeah. Just quickly, a big up. There's people in the chat like Gang Groovy's in here. Ben Hart seems to fancy Coover. Who doesn't? What a man. What a guy.
What a man.
Wood's in here. My mate is in here. Billy. I said, Savva, you fell off. Now you changed your name.
But you're still here.
Answers on a postcard. What did I fall off? I'd love to know.
You fell off the perchy.
I fell off the perch.
Oh, he fell off the perch.
Everyone in the chat, feel free to give some amusing answers. What did Savva fall off? Let's see who can come up with something creative and keep it clean. Keep it clean, people.
I like how he says you fell off, but he's still here watching you. I love that.
He loves me. Billy Horace loves me. Coover, build your own channel. Build it from scratch. Build it.
That's been on the cards for a while. I just can't be bothered.
It's a lot. I'll tell you, I said this yesterday on my show, guys. I think people sometimes think that literally we sit in front of a laptop or a computer and go live and you're off, but they don't realize how much you've got to do with all your thumbnails, the advertising, getting your guests, getting all the artwork done. I don't think they realize how much goes into it, but hey ho.
It's so true. I've just started it this week, and the work you have to put. People think, as I said, you're spot on, that like you just start and you click a button and that's how it works. There's so much. You've got to get stuff organized and everything. So yeah, that's why I always say to people, just help the community out. Listen, watch everyone, and keep helping grow this community.
That's all we ask. That's all we ask.
That's how I'll do it if I do my own channel. I'll just go old school, no thumbnails.
Nothing. Yeah. Nothing.
Thing is, it probably work as well.
Not even the countdown. Just come in mid-sentence on whatever I'm saying.
Yeah, just come in. Hi, Kuva here. Yeah, all guns blazing. I mean, back to Spurs. Hang on, Mum Spaghetti. I love that. Mum Spaghetti with a picture of Steve Harvey. I think is that Steve Harvey. It is, isn't it? So, Mum Spaghetti, please tell us the thinking behind your thumbnail and your name. I love it. I think it's a brilliant combo. Look, I think. We saw last week Porro's cross for Harry Kane's header, guys. We don't see that from Emerson Royal, do we? We don't see that type of quality being delivered in. And Percy, is that why we bought in Porro, because of that attacking impetus and that attacking quality that he gives us rather than the defending the other way?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think if this system ever works, it works when you've got very, very attacking wing backs. And it doesn't, and it very quick in attacking wing backs. It doesn't really work with a defensive right back, in a sense, because Emerson's a defensive right back, and we're using him in a completely different system, and it doesn't really suit him. However, though, I do flip it. They have found a way to bed him into working in that role, where he kind of does this inverted thing and comes into the middle of it and stuff, and they spread the play out a bit like that way. But yeah, I mean. Here we go. Lovely.
Well, wow. I'm not reading it out. I wasn't drawing attention to it. But yeah, I mean, Kuva, I want to bring you, just before we go back to that, I want to bring you onto this comment. And by the way, if you've got any questions, get the questions in. Please put a Q before what you write, so we know it's a question, not a statement. Two very different things, as I found out the hard way in my life. Kuva, Mataza Soldier, great names going on with a Chopper Chopper sign. This is brilliant. The creativity knows no bounds. Even if we lose today, I can't see Conte being sacked. Can you? I can't see him. We're sitting fourth in the table. I can't see that he's going to get sacked. Can you?
Always been on my mind. If there was 1 point he would have gone before the end of his contract, and that would have been immediately after the transfer window, in my opinion.
Yeah,
because that would have been a breaking point. If it was clearly not working. But I think he's just going to comfortably run out his contract. Club are in no hurry to get rid of him. He's in no hurry to leave. It's just going to be an amicable see ya.
Yeah, that's what I think it'll be. Yeah, we'll come back to Conte a bit later. But I mean, Kuva, the other thing about the Spurs starting lineup today is that this is the second game in a row where we've seen Richarlison favoured over Dejan Kulasavsky. Is this indicative of the season that Kulusevski's been having? Because there's no doubt that he's a talented footballer, right? And I think I've heard you say it a few times that he's the reason at times you watch Spurs, because he's the one with the creativity and makes things happen. But we've definitely not seen the Kulu of the back end of last year, have we? This year, it's definitely not been plain sailing from this year. Yeah,
let's not mess about. He's been piss poor. He's really been poor. He's well worth being dropped at the moment. I don't know whether he came back from injury too quickly, and he's not got into his rhythm yet. Perhaps the injuries are more lingering than he would have liked. It could have even affected him mentally. And sometimes players just go off the boil when they have a break, don't they? You can have a blinding season, and then it's just suddenly gone the next season. Look at Sonny, for example. Salah, he's done the same thing at Liverpool. It happens, unfortunately. The fact it's happened to Kulusevski is really sort of sickening, because, as you said, I've always championed him. I think he's just a fantastic footballer. I think he's one of those players. I'll put him in the same sort of mould as like the likes of Mahrez, where he got that incredible dribbling ability, but an awareness and ability to slip somebody else in for a goal, as maybe take a couple himself. If anything, I think the only thing that's let him down during that hot spell for us was perhaps he'd be sticking the ball in the net a few more times himself rather than looking forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Percy, what do you make of this? And by the way, this question here, how old are you? Is that aimed at me? I'll let Percy go first because he's a bit younger. How old are you, Percy?
How old, I'm going to be 31 this year, so I'm 30.
Oh, Kuva, why do we let such young people onto stream with
Oh.
us? This is shocking. I won't ask Kuva. It's rude to ask somebody who's older than you.
We'll just say about me, I've seen us win 3 FA Cups.
I was going to say,
I was alive to see 1 European trophy.
I was going to say, I thought Kuva was 24. It's Kuva 99, so I thought he was 24.
Yeah. You thought he was born in 1999. Yeah. I'm 40. I'm 40. I'm the same age as what? Who's 40? Zlatan, someone like that. Me and Zlatan, very similar.
It's identical.
Yeah, there's so much similarities between us.
I'll be 52 this year, by the way.
They call him the Swedish Savva.
Exactly, a Swedish Savva. And they call Kuva the Norwegian Savva. So, yeah, listen, everyone wants to be me. By the way, I'm not going to bring up a comment. I have seen it in the chat. Please do not speak about other YouTubers on this show. I'm not going to entertain it. I'm not going to read out any comments that are about any other YouTubers in a disrespectful manner, just so we can set the stall early. Perchy, what's your thoughts on that? The whole Kulasavsky, Richarlison thing? Because they're very different. Kulusevski's a more cultured footballer, gets on the ball, wants to twist his man inside out. Richarlison's more of a presser, a hassler type of player. But I've not really seen any quality on the ball from him in terms of, can he beat his man on the outside? Can he do a little trick and get past them? Is this more about Route 1 type stuff from Conte? Or is it literally just, hang on, I've paid 60 million here. I've got to get this guy some game time?
No, I think it's more the sense of, because I don't. If that is the case, then I'd be more concerned about the manager if that's the reason why he's picking players. As I said, I don't think people we talk about price tags too much. I think in football, I'm not saying you specifically. I'm just saying in general in football, I think players with price tags get talked about more. We pay 60 million quid for him, so he has to play. No. I don't think that's the right reasons. I think Kulusevski's not been very good for the last month or so. I think Richarlison showed glimpses of what he showed a lot of glimpses of why we've paid the money for him. I thought he deserved to go against Forest. I think he got ruled out because his armpit hair was too long. So he's had to go and get that shaved quickly today. But yeah, I think it's all about effort. I think, as I said, I think if for example, if we'd signed Richarlison for half that money, I don't think he gets as much slander as he gets. Price tags, I think we need people in not just this community, but the whole football community need to sort of put the price tag aside and look and go, we've got a player there that can do something. Maybe not the greatest player, but he can do something for this football club. And I think that bit just needs to, because I see we had this. Oh, wow, I mean that's very, very polite of you. The side of things on that, I thought it's very similar to with Jack Grealish going to Man City for 100 million quid. Everyone all of a sudden goes, "Oh my God, he's crap." No, he's not. He's a player that's basically left a small pond as the big fish and gone into a giant pond and been the little fish. You have to give these players time. Players like Jack Grealish going to Man City, Richarlison going to Spurs. Did anyone genuinely think at a click of a finger we're going to sign an absolute world beater that's going to go and change our season? I don't think anyone said that when we signed him.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, we've got our first copycat account, which is absolutely lovely. Football Hemorrhage TV, wonderful. I want to just say, is hemorrhage spelt right? I'm just checking. No, I didn't think it was. No. Cool. Listen, thank you very much.
Spelling has had a hemorrhage.
Yes.
I was going to, and also, if you're going to put the badge correctly in the square at least. Like if you're going to do it properly.
I like it. I feel like you could have been a little bit more inventive with a fake name there. Like Savva Talks Hemorrhages or something. You know what I mean? Like just something. But please subscribe, be kind. Just quickly before the kickoff is in about 5 minutes, let's quickly go through some of the other games and see what we're predicting there. Kuva, you've got Aston Villa at home to Bournemouth. Aston Villa, I think Sean and I worked out yesterday, the only team in the Premier League with probably nothing to play for at either end. I don't think they're going to get Europe. They're in no danger of getting relegated. At home to Bournemouth, who are very much in danger, but got a win last week against Liverpool. What do you reckon?
I kind of think the days of playing for nothing have gone. I mean, there's quite a bit of money involved in each league position, isn't there? So higher up the table you finish, more money at the end of the season, spending on new players and everything, player bonuses. Plus, every team's got players that are with internationals.
Yeah.
They're going to be playing to make sure they're on form and they're in their international managers' line of sight. So I don't really think they're going to be taking it easy. It used to be the case, years gone by, you'd get those end of season games where everybody's eyes are on the beach, aren't they? But I don't think it's like that anymore. I think Villa at home should still be putting up a fight against anybody, though. I don't think Bournemouth are the same sort of team when they travel away from home as they are at home, because they cause all sorts of teams trouble.
Small tight pitch down there, isn't it, at Bournemouth? And I think you see this with a lot of clubs. Like when you look at Brentford at home, another team, small little pitch. They're very, very strong there. Away, not as good. Then you go to the bigger pitches where teams stretch you and it changes. But I mean, that would really throw the cat amongst the pigeons, Perchy. If Bournemouth were to get a win there, they take themselves on to 27 points and could be in 12th. And that's how crazy it is. From 12th to 20th is 5 points. 8 teams separated by 5 points.
Exactly. It's mad. And and I say this, and I use the relegation battle at the moment, very similar to sort of the chase for Champions League. You don't have to be amazing. You've just got to win a few games. And when I say that, I said, look at everyone in the top 4 race. Man United, 1 minute will get a good result, then go and get battered 7-0 to Liverpool, and then draw with Southampton. Spurs have started to slowly get a few results on the bounce, minus the Leicester performance. And you look at Liverpool, 1 minute they're winning 7-0 against Man United, then losing 1-0 to Bournemouth. So it's the same down the bottom. Down the bottom, if you can go and get 2, maybe 3 wins on the bounce down the bottom, you're all of a sudden gone from being in the bottom 3 to being 5 points clear of the bottom 3 in the space of 3 games. It's that it can flicker, and I think you mentioned it on your show yesterday. It's a flick of a switch. 1 minute,
it really is.
1 win changes everything. And I said this about us as well. If we win today with Man United, Liverpool, Brighton, all them are not playing, we could jump above the guys in from 5th downwards just on 1 result. But yes, we've played before them. But do you see what I mean? It gets that sort of you need to keep winning.
Well, let's rattle through the next.
Sorry,
just quickly.
I was just going to say, and on that point, this is why I think it was so crazy. Crystal Palace sacking Vieira.
Agreed.
A lot of those games where they're on quite a run where they hardly won any games, but they played some big teams in that run.
Yeah, I've got that as a talking point, Cooper. I just want to get your opinions before the games start. The games are going to start in literally 1 minute. Brentford at home to Leicester. Leicester are 1 point above the relegation zone, and Brentford, if they win today, go into 6th. 1 point 3 points behind the top 4. Brentford at home to Leicester. What are we saying, guys?
I think Leicester slipped back into their sloppy ways of defending and hemorrhaging goals, looking really poor. Brentford on a run, crest of a wave at that club at the moment. Everything suggests Brentford to win it easily, so I'm going to go for Leicester.
I predicted Brentford 2, Leicester 0.
Brentford 2, Leicester 0. And how many goals are we predicting I bet to score? Both of them? That's his name, isn't it? That's his name. That's his initials. His I bet. If you want to go make some money, Ivan Toney's bet that he'll score a brace today. So you're in the money. Absolutely. Wolves versus Leeds. Tottenham have kicked off, by the way, for anyone who cares. Wolves versus Leeds, Kuva. Both clubs. Wolves are 3 points above the relegation zone, and Leeds are second bottom. Second bottom, Leeds are.
Well, Leeds desperate for the win, aren't they? It's psychological just to get out of the bottom 3, I think. Wolves, like you said at the beginning of the show, 5 points separating those bottom sort of 8 clubs, isn't it? So it's so tight down there. Everything's a relegation 3-pointer at the moment for every club there. It's a real toss-up who goes down. I wouldn't like to call it. I think my beginning of the season, I would have thought Southampton, Bournemouth, Forest, but
Yeah.
I just don't know at the moment. With the likes of Palace sacking the manager and things like that, they're all getting drawn into it. They can't. No club's able to string together those 2 or 3 wins in a row.
It's mad, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Mm.
I've never known it, guys, where the bottom 8 are separated by 5 points with 10, 11 league games to go. Normally, you've got somebody who's completely adrift, right? Normally, you've got historically, and I don't know if this is before your time, Perchy, because you're 10 years younger, but Coover, the days of a Swindon. Do you remember with Jan Arge Fjortov being adrift and that Derby team that had like 14 points all season? And it's not that now, is it?
Always good bet for that sort of thing.
I was going to say, I was going to say though, this if it keeps on like this, by the way, we're going to have a lovely last day of the season where you could. It was similar to, remember that season where they had it and it was like 6 teams could go down out of 2 left. I think West Ham had already finished bottom, and there were still 2 places with 6 teams battling out for two places, and they had the match. Because I watch it's on YouTube. So you had like the match of the day, like bit of it, where one goal goes in and you just see the changes in the who gets relegated. And but yeah, no, I think with this the Leeds game, I've gone 1-1. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw.
Low scoring game, I think. Despite
it won't be exciting.
2 very good footballing sides. I think neither of them. You watch. I'm going to say this, and it'll end up being 4-4. Neither of them have got goal scorers. And you watch, Bamford's going to knock in a hat-trick now. I've said that, isn't he? And it's just a shame because I truly thought before his injury, I really thought Raul Jimenez at Wolves was a real player. I thought I was looking at him thinking, I'd like you at Spurs. You're the real deal, but he's not quite dealt with that. With the injury, and I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying, it's really ruined his career. The last game, it kicks off at 5:30. Chelsea. By the way, there's no goals in the Premier League yet, if anyone cares.
Nothing
Chelsea
yet.
Home to Everton. Kuva, Chelsea have won 3 on the bounce now under Potter. 2 league games. They've beaten Borussia Dortmund. They're at home to Everton, who are in the bottom 3 or bottom 4. A Chelsea win. Are they starting to find that rhythm, that confidence now?
It's looking a little like it, isn't it? I watched that game against Borussia Dortmund. It was a really entertaining game. I think Chelsea deserve what they got. You can't have that many quality players and constantly fail to piece things together. Some parts of the team are going to have to work at some point. I think it's a long, slow process, but I think maybe they're starting to turn the corner. They're not going to be like pushing for trophies or anything. You never know with Chelsea, do you? What are they going to do? Suddenly win the Champions League?
Do you know what? Right?
You wouldn't completely rule it out, would you? Just because of history.
Do you know what? I said yesterday, Coover, right? I was on a show with Dan Potts. By the way, Southampton very nearly took the lead there. I don't know if anyone's seen that.
I think was mad.
James Ward-Prowse drove the ball in from about 20 yards and someone at the back post just failed to slide in. And Richarlison's gone off injured for Kulu.
He's got it. Yeah, he's injured there.
Richarlison off. So all of that talk about Richarlison and Kulu, and he lasted under 2 minutes. So
I was going to say he ain't happy. It's something bad because it looks like he's. I think he looked like he's crying. Like he don't look happy.
He is crying. He is crying. Yeah, he's crying.
Well, that's a big injury if it is then, because whenever players react like that, there's normally a reason for it.
Yeah. Kuva, back to the Chelsea thing. I'll tell you what. I was having a conversation with Dan Potts yesterday from Football's 12th Man podcast. And I said, Chelsea, Real Madrid, I've just got this little feeling that for as good as Madrid are, that Chelsea might knock them out. And I'll tell you why. Sometimes these stories write themselves in football, don't they, Kuva? Where, Potter's nearly sacked. They're terrible. He's terrible. The worst manager they've ever had. Then all of a sudden, something like that can elevate you to being godlike. I'm not saying they will win, but I just got this sneaky little feeling that they could. Do you know what I mean?
Well, for me, the point of reference is always going to be Sir Alex Ferguson when he took over at United back in '86. Very much struggling to impress. Had to turn around the culture of the club, get away from that drinking sort of culture that they had with, Robson, Whiteside, McGrath, and basically you force Brian Robson to change his ways and knuckle down, be a proper pro, and cut out the drinking and everything.
Yeah.
It took time. They needed that FA Cup win to really kickstart them. Ferguson nearly got sacked. It was that touch and go for those first 5 years.
Wasn't it the Mark Robbins goal?
Guys, we have a goal. We have a goal. There is a goal in the Wolves versus Leeds game. Sorry to interrupt. There's a goal.
Perchy, Jesus Christ. Remember what we talked about earlier?
Oh, yeah, crap. Sorry.
Jesus Christ, Perchy. Let me get there before you just jump in and...
Sorry.
Jesus Christ, Perchy.
Sorry, was that loud as well? Sorry, man.
It just says Heritage TV. That could belong to anybody.
Yeah?
Jesus Christ.
Just waking you up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I'm not wrong, it was the Mark Robbins goal. Was it the
Oh
FA
my
Cup?
God, the first game's 0-0.
Christ.
There we go.
Jesus Christ. Now I've lost my stream. But it's all happening over here. Bella Kochap apparently has broken his hand. It's all happening, guys. It's all happening.
It's all happened in this amazing.
I've just lost all my streams and everything there, guys.
Oh, that's a great goal, actually.
Perchy, can you stop?
Sorry, I'm doing it now. I did that on purpose.
So Richarlison's gone off and Bella Kochap has broken his hand. Are the two things connected?
Apparently so. Apparently so. I don't know if they're connected. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, back to where it was before Perchy just started shouting down the microphone. And we will talk about Jack Harrison's goal for Leeds shortly. By the way, M. Dot, if I wasn't watching a dodgy stream, where else is anyone watching the Spurs game? Coover, let's get back to the point. It was Mark Robbins, right, who scored the goal, I want to say an FA Cup game that kept Ferguson in his job after that 5 years or whatever.
Yeah, it's let's think, 92, was it 93 FA Cup final, something like that. No, was it 90? I can't remember now. It's too far back. But yeah, it was. They had a few youngsters come in. Mark Robbins, one of them, and they beat Palace in the cup final. And I think it was back in the days. Palace had Mark Bright and Ian Wright playing up front. But it was a turning point, and that happens with every manager. Something clicks. It's like, would we be having all of this currently happening with Spurs if Posh had won the Champions League? It might have been an entirely different outcome then. There might have been players flooding in that, well, no, hang on, let's be sensible. It wouldn't, would we? It's still the same chairman. But, it defines clubs sometimes. Getting over the line makes a big difference. When we came up in the 1980s, late 70s, re-established ourselves after relegation, brought in Ozzy Ardiles, Ricky Villa. We needed that first FA Cup to lift us. Steve Berryman talks about this.
Yeah.
It's the first trophy that's the hardest one. When you get over the line in that first one, it becomes easier. And we saw it with Spurs, won a second FA Cup the following season. A couple of years later, European success. And in that meanwhile, all through the 80s, we're getting the finals, semi-finals. It's like a consistent thing where it looks like the club's, poised to do something. That's all sort of gone now. Even when we get to semi-finals nowadays, I don't think we really believe it. It's a shock, really, rather than anything. How did we get that far? I never saw that coming. It's a culture, isn't it? You build it. You get to this sort of stage where we keep failing at the last hurdle for a reason. It's the same as teams like Chelsea, United, Man City. They get over the line more often than not because they're used to that.
No, absolutely. Just quickly. So, yes, we have got goals, as Perchy said. So, Leeds are 1-0 up at Wolves. Jack Harrison scored the goal. And Aston Villa are 1-0 up at home to Bournemouth. I didn't see who scored the goal. I haven't seen that yet. Perchy will know.
Douglas Luiz
with the goal. Perfect.
Ball whipped in a cross goal from Leon Bailey, tapped in by Douglas Luiz, 1-0.
Nice. Kuva, we've got a funny one. By the way, please do not ask me about other people from other shows. I'm not going to answer questions about other YouTubers. Please stop. Kuva, this is a nice one about you. Sitso has said, Kuva, you being as an old senior man, what would be your advice on women and being cheated on by them? I mean, you don't have to answer that in any way, shape, or form, but do you know this person?
No, but it's an interest. I think this is one of those things that people cheating on each other seems to be a much more regular occurrence nowadays, from my point of view.
Yeah, I don't know where that's come from.
All I'll say is agony aunt time, is it? Yeah. All I'll say is if it's happened to you and your missus has cheated on you, you're not alone, mate. It happens to most men at some point. So don't feel it's something that bad about yourself. These things tend to happen nowadays more than ever. It's just one of them things. And people draw a lot of strength from it, just knowing they're not alone in that sort of thing. Yeah. So,
absolutely.
Up,
well
mate.
Said. Well said, that man.
Chin up, mate. Go and have a few beers with your mates and sodder.
Kuva talks relationships.
Yiddy, just so you know, there will be no more channel changes. There will be no more name changes. I just needed I'll be honest, I got a bit bored of the Spurs community. I just got a bit bored. I thought it was getting we were saying the same things week in, week out. I want to broaden my horizons and talk about all football. What are your thoughts? Have you guys got a stream going for the Spurs game? Have you been sort of watching on and off? What are your thoughts so far? I've been thoroughly unimpressed with what we've done so far. Anyone in the chat as well? What do you think?
I was going to say, I'm watching it. I was just going to say, I think the two injuries that have happened, obviously Bella Kotchap's got injured for Southampton, Richarlison injured for Spurs, has kind of just sort of broken the game up. It hasn't really started. I'm just sort of, I've been flicking through the others. There's been some other good stuff going in other games, but there's always a bit boring on Spurs when they travel away from home.
Is this going to be Theo Walcott's one good game of the year, Kuva? Is this what is going to happen today?
Nah, I don't see it. It's just the only thing that really concerns me is it's Southampton at home. We've got a habit of not turning up until the last 10 minutes. Although it's got us a few wins over the years doing it that way. They tend to go ahead more often than not. I remember like Ericsson getting winners against them in stoppage time, and
I remember that.
I think wasn't it against Southampton as well? It might have been a home game though, that where Davinson Sanchez popped up at an injury time as well last season, was it?
No, that was Watford, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, you might be right.
Wasn't it like 0-0 to the
turned us over or something, wasn't it? Or no, they went down to 10 men and they were the better team and we hung on or something.
Yeah. That sounds like Tottenham Hotspur, doesn't it? Not many goals flying, and there's not many goals in any of the leagues, to be honest with you. I mean, Chelsea, Everton, guys, getting back to that. Can anyone see Everton going to Stamford Bridge and taking anything, or is this Chelsea banker 3 points?
I think they've had their new manager banks, to be honest. I think now Sean Dyche now realises what a difficult job he's got on his hands, because that Everton team has not got a lot going for it. No. There's a couple of hard-working, honest defenders, but otherwise, you look at them, they're like gaping sort of holes in the team where you have a creative player or a natural goal scorer. They're just not there. So it's a real struggle for them.
They're a very workman-like team, which I suppose is what is a good fit for Dyche Perchi. I mean, when you look at them, they've not got an abundance of goals, have they, Everton? Calvert-Lewin, I think, is very overrated, if I'm honest. But other than that...
He had a one good season, really, didn't under Ancelotti. No, I think the whole situation at Everton with Sean Dyche is... I read somewhere, it's quite incredible. It's quite interesting. I think they've come to a consensus this season. And I can't remember if he said it but someone either paraphrased it and stuff. Basically, what seems to happen with them is they win at home, lose away. And they kind of worked it out to, as long as if they can not lose at home, and anything away from home is a bonus, they'll stay out of relegation. For example, as long as they can win their home games this season, they'll stay out of relegation. And you see that when you see them at home. That's why I did say us going at Everton is going to be one of the really hard game of the season, because they will sit there ruin the football. We will sit there. They'll be more boring than we are. I mean, that's nearly
they'll do what they
incredible.
did to Arsenal. They'll do what they did to Arsenal, right?
Yeah.
They'll sit in. They'll make themselves hard to beat. Cody and Tarkowski will throw themselves in front of absolutely everything, and we'll just be trying to break them down without having a key to do so. Is that what you're saying?
Basically, yeah. It will be very similar to that sense of we'll have all of the ball. They will sit there and go, do you know what? Just break us down for 90 minutes. It'll be a dreary watch, but I tell you, if they get a point against us, it's a good point for Everton. But we can't afford it. I think it'll be a really tough game of football there. But it's one of those. But it's one of those also. If we get the early goal, it's one of those we could go and do where we did a few years back, where we put. Did we win like 6-2, 6-2 or something like that?
Yeah, I've got this vision of Dele Alli going through on goal, a ball over the top. He's brought the ball down and just nipped it in over the keeper.
Let me have a look. It was around Christmas time because I remember it was Christmas ads on. Yeah, it was 6-2. Yeah, we beat him 6-2 on the 23rd of December 2018. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kuva, Aditya said no drive from Spurs so far at all. We could apply that to most of the games we play, couldn't we? This isn't. Well, I'm not taking a piss. This is just. It's what we do. I'm watching Southampton have a lot of the ball in the middle of the park, and we're trying to pick them off. Surely, against a team like this, Kuva, we should be going out and dominating, shouldn't we?
Well, you'd think so, especially at home. You need to give the fans something to get behind, don't you? Whether it's playing with extreme aggression, flying into some tackles, or just like getting the ball in the box a bit, creating a few chances. If you don't get that sort of frenzied crowd atmosphere, you're starting to be up against it. It really plays into opposition hands, especially an away team. They want to hear the crowd go quiet. They know they're doing it.
We're away. We're away, Kuva. We're away.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Get beyond. Shows how much I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
But it's well, in that case, I'll take it all back. We're doing great.
Yeah, it's strange though, isn't it?
I'm watching it. It's the same sort of pedestrian stuff. I'm watching some good moves from
Porridge. I think he's got to take Porridge. Has had a good. He's cut it inside and played it on his left and absolutely spooned it. Take a touch on your right, run down and whip it across the ball, across the goal. Better decisions. Not he looks good though. This Pedro Porro for us. He's creating probably the most space we have at the moment. But yeah, we're not. But it's worrying at the moment. We seem to be playing a counter-attacking. We're playing. Oh, good save. Fraser Forster, but I've just
seen his shot. It's a bit of a Bobby Zamora, isn't it?
Yeah, he's proper scuffs it, Walcott, but he's offside anyway. I just think it's really weird. We're playing this sort of weird, like slow counter attack against a side that haven't got a lot of quality. Like we shouldn't be struggling. Like if you look, it looks like we're the team in the relegation battle, and they're the team trying to break us down. It should be the other way around. If that makes you see what I mean? Like we're playing really slow. It's weird. Like why can't we play like we did against Forest last week? Press from the front, get an early goal. As I said, the goal got disallowed in the end, but you know what I mean. In the sense, we looked much more sharper against Forest.
Yeah, we'll talk about this in a minute, Foxy. I did think the VAR decision yesterday in the Newcastle Forest game was just absolutely appalling. We've talked about this a lot of times before. I don't know what the other two on the panel think. For me, I just want to scrap VAR and go back to human error. I'm quite happy with knowing a player may have been 1 inch onside or offside or whatever it may be. Kuva, you old school like me in that respect?
Without doubt. The only bits of technology are like is the goal line technology. That makes sense because it's instant, easy for the ref. And just the headset for the ref makes sense, so he can easily stay in contact with people. No problem. I think instead of stopping the game for VAR decisions, they can just have somebody doing that sort of in the background just to do checks on like sendings off or something for violent conduct that didn't get spotted. Not for every decision. I think it's just pointless. The fact I absolutely despise the fact that you can't celebrate a goal now. You have to wait.
Agreed.
Otherwise, it's just silly. It just ruins the spectacle for me. Get rid of it. I'm all for human errors. Fine. Best matches I've ever watched isn't down to brilliant rules or technology. It's down to the referee being a good referee.
Yeah, I agree.
Plays with common sense and gets the respect of the players for doing so. I don't think you're wrong with that.
Do you know one thing that's always baffled me, Coover, is I don't understand with VAR how he'll go, right, the ref will go, hang on, I'm listening, and all the players are crowding around, and he's going, hang on, I'm waiting, and you're standing there for 2 minutes, the fans are going, what's happening? And then they say, yeah, go and look at the monitor. If that's the case, why don't they just go and look at the monitor at the beginning? I think if they're going to do this, go and look at the monitor, have 3 replays. You get to watch it 3 times in 30 seconds. And if you cannot make a clear decision from that, play on. For me, I think this whole looking at it 20 ways is just ridiculous.
It's mate of ours, Arthur Howard, on one of the Spurs WhatsApp groups. He had a brilliant idea of it was just on the VAR 3 screens, one at normal speed, one at half speed, and one with a still picture. Yeah, you have a look at each one. If you haven't made your decision in 30 seconds, say forget it, stick with your original decision.
Yeah, right? I was just saying I would go even further. I've said this about VAR. I said I have no issues when it comes to sort of violent conduct. I said the fact they show referees in slow motion, scrap that. Watch it in real time. Like I said it should be shown to them in real time. And as you say, if they can't make a decision in 30 seconds, whatever the on-field decision is made, that is the thing. And because what I'm finding at the moment, and do you know what annoys me more than VAR? Because it's not necessarily the technology that's the problem, it's the usage of it. The usage of it is now, what feels for me now is that we've come to a situation where referees are finding ways to disallow goals. We've come to this, you look and go, oh my God, what a worldie of a goal this is. And then you sit there and go, okay, they're in the background now trying to find a reason to get rid of this.
Yeah, exactly.
For example, I get it. If, for example, a player, the referee, the linesman's the linesman's not flagged for offside and it's gone in, but you look at it from the replay and go, he's miles offside here, that should be disallowed. You go, okay, fair enough. Like that is clear and obvious. You look at it and go, that player is offside. They need to scrap lines. They need to scrap slow replays. They need to have it so you watch it in real time.
Can we just scrap it? Can we just scrap it?
If it was me, I would. Yeah.
The linesman gets some right, he gets some wrong. The same way VAR gets some right and some wrong, but without the 3 or 4 minute stoppages. Just quickly, Southampton are really starting to dominate. They look like the team that wants to play football.
They look like the team chasing European football.
Titso said, polite suggestion, if this is all club fan channels, shouldn't there be one representing for another club? This is just the scores coming in. This isn't a fan debate. I just wish everyone would stop trying to tell everyone else how to run their own channel, right? And by the way, trying to find people to give up their Saturday afternoons is not as easy as you think. So,
and you've got to remember, a lot of these people are at the games watching their team play. So you got to remember that, guys, as well.
And a polite suggestion, it is okay, Titso, if you want to just watch the content and just talk about football. That's now a question to me and a question to Coover about irrelevant things, if I'm honest. Guys, Southampton's starting to, I don't know, they're pinging the ball about nicely. They're dominating possession. We look lackluster unless we're on the counter-attack. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, if I squint at my screen at the moment, I think we were the home team playing in white tops.
I think that's fair. I think that's genuine. Kane's had a chance, got blocked, but nothing's been exciting, has it? So as I was saying about the sort of VAR, there was a key point I wanted to make before when you jumped in with that was we say about human error, but there's still human error with VAR.
Yeah.
So we've not solved a problem. What we've done is we've created another problem.
Of course.
Because even now, like you get situations where you go, that's been disallowed, And then you go, and then they come out and they go, oh, the reason why they did that is because someone in a truck went and got the lines wrong. Sorry, what? Like, this is insane. See, the whole point of it is to clear up problems that you're still not fixing anyway. So even without it, but what the biggest problem is what's happened with VAR is referees now are losing accountability for their mistakes. For example, I saw a situation. I've noticed as well, they haven't got the bottle to either they'll give a red card, knowing that if they can look back at it and give him a yellow card, but they can't do it the other way round. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like the one
against
Chelsea, where they gave the red, knowing that they could go back and look at the yellow, but they couldn't change it from a yellow to a red. It's absolutely ridiculous. Guys, let's get to some questions. Poro's just skied another one over the bar. But look, we look.
Yeah. He's the new Zamora from right wing back.
I mean, we look semi-dangerous going forward on the counter attack, but we don't play any form of football, do we? There's no link-up play. There's no desire to have possession. There's no desire to take a game to the team on the front foot. And I'm not going to hear, well, it's different. This is bottom of the league. This is the team.
You said semi, but there's no link between the way we play and having a semi. No way.
Absolutely. Let's get some questions. Just quickly, Loves Music is always in the chat, always being very generous. So thank you very much. I said Football Hemorrhoid TV. Absolutely. That would have been more suggestive, more creative, should I say, and suggestive. Yeah. Thank you very much, Loves Music. Let's have a look. Rams is an Arsenal fan. He said, Arsenal versus Palace at the Emirates with a new manager bounce, score predictions. I'm going to say, guys, I don't think it matters who's in the dugout for Palace in this one. Arsenal, for me, are too strong at home for Palace. I mean, I could be wrong, but I can't see Palace getting anything against them. What do you make, Kuva?
No, I think Palace have just got rid of the right manager for them. They should have stuck with him. I think this new manager bounce, sometimes it works the other way. Sometimes it's unsettling for a squad and they don't perform. They don't respond to it. I think they're walking into a slaughter there. I can see a 4-0 scoreline there. Yeah,
I can as well, unfortunately. Perchy, what do you reckon, mate?
Well, I do look at it and I go... just saying on what Kuva said about the new management hasn't worked really this season. Look at the 3 teams in the relegation zone. All 3 of them have changed managers this season. Southampton, Leeds, and Bournemouth, all down in the relegation zone. You could argue Everton did, but Forest is stuck by Cooper, and I think there's a few others that did change as well outside of that as well. But do I think it's going to make a difference? No, I'm hearing they're bringing Roy Hodgson back. What? It's like, it just didn't make any sense. I think they've just panicked at the wrong time. I think I cannot. But the thing is, I did flip it and go. I actually tried to make a sort of understanding of it. They haven't won a game this calendar year, which is terrible. But then again, they're not that far off.
All the teams they've played have been in the top 10. Their last 12 games have been against top 10 teams. They've played a couple of the teams twice. And if you look at the games they've won this year, they've all been against teams in the bottom 8. And now they're starting to get a run of games after the Arsenal game, which are teams in the bottom 8. I just felt that it was a bit harsh. And the thing I said yesterday, Kuva, about the whole Vieira sacking was, if you look at Crystal Palace, who are 8th, who are 12th, they're kind of top of that bottom half table, if that makes sense. All right, there's a gap to Villa and Chelsea of 8 points, but where do Palace fans or owners think that squad should be? Is there anyone above them that you go, well, you should be above them? Because I don't think there is.
This is part of what I call Alan Kirbishley syndrome. Remember when Charlton were in the Premier League? Every season they were being capped up. Magnificent job Alan Kirbishley did that, because they had such limited resources. Total minnows to be in the top division. And then all of a sudden, because they got a few little patch where the results are a bit difficult for them, they suddenly got all above their station and thought, we'll sack him and then we can make a push for the top 6 sort of thing. What happened? A couple of seasons later, they're relegated and they've fallen away to nothing. Sometimes you've got to appreciate that you are going well when it's within your means. Now, some people will say that about us as a club, which I don't agree with, because we got way better resources than a lot of most of the teams around us. Now, when you're a Palace, and you can see that, I think most fans can see there's something there. There's like, there's a lot of the players good with what they do. And it comes back to the conversation we're having the other day on mostly on WhatsApp, but goal scorers. If you haven't got a goal scorer,
I was just about to say that.
The rest of your play, it can go to waste. You're not getting the finishing touch that you deserve. I think that's what's the problem with Palace, really, isn't it? I mean, they had big Benteke for ages, though never really.
Well, Kuva, when you look at it, right? When you look at it, you can look at the 2 teams that are probably punching above their weight in the Premier League, right? Are Brentford and Fulham. And you would argue and say, well, hang on, they've got blokes that in all competitions will get 20 goals minimum. Mitrovic and Mitrovic maybe 15, 16. Tony will definitely get over 20. He probably has in all competitions. If you don't have a striker, it is so difficult, isn't it? Look at everyone at the bottom. If you go from the bottom of the table, Southampton do not have a goal scorer that will get you 15, 20 goals, right? Leeds don't. Everton don't. Bournemouth don't. Leicester used to in Vardy, but he's now 406 or whatever age he is. Wolves don't. If you look at all of those teams down there, they don't have a goal scorer. For me, that's got to be, I don't care how good a footballing team you are, if you do not make that your number 1 priority in a window. And that's what I would pay my scouts more than anything to do. Find me a hidden gem across Europe, across the world, who will get, they don't have to get 30. I'm not talking about getting a Harry Kane or a Haaland, but find me the next Ivan Toney and you stay up. For me, it's that simple. If Brentford didn't have Ivan Toney, I think Brentford would be exactly where Crystal Palace are now. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think absolutely. Look at the history, fairly recent history. The likes of when Sunderland came up and stayed in the division for ages. Big Niall Quinn and Kevin Phillips. Kevin Phillips was just banging the goals in. They weren't a great side, but they had a great pairing up front.
Well, even more sort of in the sort of 2000s, when they had the likes of Jermaine Defoe in the Premier League, was still getting them goals there, weren't he? They had I think they had Danny Welbeck on loan from Man United when he was young and stuff, and he was getting goals. So I mean, they even back. You think about it now. If you go back a decade or 2 decades, massive difference. Every team had a goal scorer that would get you 10, 15 odd goals here and there, but you don't have that anymore. As I said, very rarely. If you get a goal scorer that can get you 15 goals, it's worth your weight in money. It theoretically saves you from relegation.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I think there's a lot to say about the way the game's played nowadays as well. Seems to be less out-and-out goal scorers than ever, because the way the game's played is more of a all-round contribution that you're expecting from your front players. A lot of chasing around and link-up play, and that classic sort of 4-2-3-1 system as it become recently. The centre forward isn't just an out-and-out goal scorer. He does
I agree.
So when you're spreading the goals out, it's hard to have the same sort of focus that it used to be back in the day when you'd have Robbie Fowler, Michael Owen, and they're just coming through every year. There was a new player that would score 15, 20 goals a season, it seemed like. They've become a rare commodity now.
They really have. They really have. Just a goal update. Brentford 1, Leicester 0. And it wasn't Ivan Toney. It was Matthias Jensen. Very good footballer, that guy, by the way. I've seen him play a lot. Very good footballer, Matthias Jensen. So Brentford are 1-0 up and looking at closing the gap on the top 4. Fair play. What a wonderful, wonderful job he's done. Nathan Doyle, I don't think you've heard me say anything about Antonio Conte. But just seeing as you've mentioned it, I'm going to. He may have won more league titles than Spurs' entire league history, but what I'm watching right now, I don't want to watch any more at Tottenham Hotspur. This is absolute drab football. I'm sorry. I'm good. I don't care. Even if we're not winning this game, it is drab, guys.
Am I allowed to respond on that after you finished? I was just going to say I really want to say.
Yeah, after I finish, go for it. At the end of the day, we are a football club that have gone from being a team that want to play football to a team that want to give the other team all of the ball. And we're playing bottom of the table and they're dominating possession. Go on, Perchy, and then I'll go over to you, Kuva.
No, I just want to say, can I just say, it really irritates me when people use a manager and try and make out that they're better than any football club. Antonio Conte is no bigger than Barnet. As I said, and I say this to people, and people it really gets to me because people go, "Oh, well, he's won more league titles than Tottenham." Couldn't care less. He's no bigger than the football club because when he dies, Spurs are still here. Before he was born, Spurs were still here. So the institution, he's no bigger than any football team. No individual is bigger than any institution. I'm not having it. I hate it. And it's things like that that really bother me because I sit there and go, what are you going on about? Like, the institution's bigger. For example, I'll still be supporting Spurs when Conte's gone. Way after he's had all these different things. When people make this notion, and it seems to be of late that it's happening, where we have this notion where people want to make out that football players and managers have this notoriety that they're bigger than any club. They're no bigger than anything. The club is bigger than the institution is bigger than the individual.
Yeah. No, you're right, Kuva. I mean, let me come to you with this. I don't understand. Go on, what? You were going to say something else, weren't you?
No, just about the Tottenham game. We've got another injury. Ben Davis has now been limping off for Perisic.
Superb.
Damn. I was hoping it might be Levy had fallen out of the stand.
Kuva, with regards to this comment, I listen. I'll be honest. Apologies, I just missed. Someone was at my door, so I did miss a little bit of what Perchy was saying. But I really don't understand this whole notion of this manager's better than your entire club. Can we not agree that these managers, what they've done at other clubs, isn't necessarily what we're seeing at our club? Right? There's a huge difference, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, Italy used to have a global empire. So did we.
Yeah,
doesn't mean it's the same now, does it?
No, of course not.
For me. I look at Conte from what he's done at Tottenham. Have we improved since last season? For me, no. I think we're worse than we were last season.
I agree. It's awful.
So I fail to see where this so-called genius manager is earning the money. I'm not seeing anything I'm impressed with. And I've made it pretty clear I don't like watching us anymore. I pretty much stopped watching us. Wish I hadn't turned the stream on today. I knew it would be a waste of time, but it's background viewing, isn't it? So to get the excitement with being on the screen with a couple of absolute legends on this random channel that could be anybody.
Absolutely. Who is he? Who is he?
and you need to take the edge off it by whacking Spurs in the background and keep you level, don't you?
Listen, people starting to say, like Flash Errol, big up Flash Errol, has said, I don't want Conte next season. John Ellishaw has also said, I don't want Conte next season. By the way, anyone who is putting questions in, I'm not ignoring them. I am saving them and we will get to them. So please don't think I'm ignoring them. Daniel has said, Conte is only good with world-class players. Preach, Perchy. Preach, Perchy. Let me say, look, it's just all a little bit.
Well, for me, it's that long-term conversations we're having, wasn't it? As far as I'm concerned, with this club, two-touch, passing, attacking football. If we're not doing that, and it's a manager that doesn't offer that, I'm not interested. They shouldn't be at this club, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
I need football.
Agree.
I need the buzz. I need to enjoy what I'm watching. We were bloody brilliant to watch in the 80s. We had some grip to go with the flair and the skill levels. It was outstanding. Pretty much, we could say the same in the 90s, and it's just dropped off a cliff. There's occasional times when the likes of Redknapp will bring it back. Yol saved us from anti-football under Santini, and Redknapp did it, and Posh has done it for a bit. But now we've just gone into this rut of let's pick some of the most grinding managers we can possibly get and then fail to provide them with players that can even make them successful. It feels like it's a chore watching this team. I don't see the point in it.
Bang on.
It's not successful and it's not enjoyable. Why the hell I'm supposed to back this manager, I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, if you go tomorrow, I will not blink an eyelid.
Bang on.
I'd even take the likes of Brendan Rodgers in place of him, because at least
do you know the word you used? Do you know the word you used there, which I think should resonate or does resonate with a lot of Spurs fans? Is the word chore. You know, we used to watch our club win, lose or draw, and you'd be entertained in some way, shape or form. I can't remember the last time Spurs entertained me. I can't. I'm watching this game now, and it's like, all right, you're playing a team that are fighting to save their lives, but they look the superior football team. And that shouldn't be right. And we could say, oh, Bentancur's not playing. All right, Bentancur's not playing. I'm sorry, you can't miss. Other than Bentancur, and I'm not gonna bring Lloris into this because I think Forster's done a good job actually since he's taken between the sticks. I don't think he's done anything wrong. Other than Bentancur, what is it that we're missing here? What is it? What's our excuse for how we play?
But that's the main thing, though. Exactly, the excuses are the excuses within the fan base are rampant that it's the players, but that's not true. Like, let's be honest. We get this. It's the hypocrisy within Spurs fans that really does wind me up, and I call it out all the time when I say everyone goes at 1 minute we've got one of the best attacking threes in the league, Son, Kulasavsky, Kane, but then we can't play that. Somehow we then can't play an attacking style of football with those three players because we've got average defenders, but we don't even look good going forward.
Yeah, I agree.
Like we look,
but what people say, Perchy, the excuse that everyone gives is, how can you attack with those defenders? I'm sorry, but when the midfield, once the defenders have given the ball to the midfield, this is no longer on the back three. This is now, okay, what are we doing going forward? And for me, listen, I'm not saying we're not going to win today, guys, by the way. I don't know. At the moment, it just looks like we won't score, but I'm not saying we won't win. But for me, I've got past the point of caring that we're in fourth. I say lost the point. I haven't cared about that for years. But Kuva, I know you feel the same. The league position for me doesn't override the football, i.e. the journey. Yeah, the destination for me doesn't take away from the journey. I want to have fun on that journey. Like, I want a road trip with my mates, stopping at places all across the country, having a laugh, getting drunk. I don't want just a direct there on my own. And do you know what I mean? That's it for me, the journey.
Have you followed snooker at all, Savva, over the years?
Yeah, over the years. Yeah, Jimmy White was my favourite. Yeah.
Exactly. Why Jimmy White?
Exciting, quick, got on the table, made things happen.
Did it matter that he hadn't won the World Championship?
No, probably to him, not to me.
Exactly. Screw Stephen Hendry. It's Jimmy White all the way. I feel the same about football. If you don't win in style, it isn't worth winning.
Yeah. And then Ronnie O'Sullivan is the Man City, wins in style, right? Ronnie O'Sullivan's the Man City.
Yeah, you got to hate him, haven't you?
Oh, he's genius. Both-handed, isn't he, as well?
Yeah.
Plays with both hands. But
so very, very few things I can do both-handed that's enjoyable.
No,
listen, there's not many goals. Leeds are still winning 1-0. Brentford are winning 1-0. Tottenham are 0-0. Middlesbrough winning again 1-0. Just quickly, I know it's in the Championship, but what a wonderful job Michael Carrick has done at Middlesbrough, by the way. Wonderful job.
Incredible is probably the word I would use. He came in to save them from getting relegated. They now have an opportunity to get promoted. It's mad.
They're 3 points off the top two.
It's insane.
3 points off automatic.
He's done incredible.
I think it's always a good education for an up-and-coming manager if they were a player under Sir Alex Ferguson, isn't it?
Oh,
spot on. Every single one that's come out and managed has looked good coming under his stewardship, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Listen, I don't ever want all the streams to be just a knocking Conte. But look, at the end of the day, I think we're allowed to acknowledge that the guy is a successful top manager without having to say, I like him, right? I think that's fair to say, right? It's like anybody who turns around, nobody could turn around and go, oh, Man City are boring to watch. No, Man City are good to watch. You just hate them because they're so good, right? It's not. Do you know what I mean? Two things can be true at once, guys. But Kuva, you've still got the game on. I'd love to say that we've grown into it, but
I couldn't care if I turned the stream off, to be honest.
It's just shit, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got theories about why things are as they are at the moment. I mean, back in the days, because I was a huge Pochettino fan because we were playing some of the best football I've ever witnessed at this club. We're just that little bit away from winning something, and we talked again about if we just invested at that point and pushed on that little bit further, could be talking about silverware.
Yeah.
But what's happened?
Absolutely.
We're allowed the team to fester, no new blood coming into the side. Everybody knows that you survive on the introduction of new blood into your teams. Every sport's the same. We didn't do that. Then Mourinho came along, and to his credit, he realised how poor the squad actually was. So he found a way to make it work initially, and that is that Sonny and Kane partnership. So he's lived off that. Ever since then, it's like the team has relied on that, and the style of players has fallen away. If Sonny and Kane can't do it, nothing happens. So we've been struggling to recover from that. Kulasavsky changed that balance, and we look better for it for a while. But
and we've just scored, Kuva. We've just scored, and it is that man, Pedro Porro. Perchy is the worst person in the world. He cannot keep
I'm trying to hold it in. I'm trying to hold it in.
So for anyone that didn't see it, let's watch that again as it comes across. Look, if anyone's looked like scoring for us, it has been Pedro Porro.
Yeah, literally.
He's got in the box a few times. And for me, this is why he starts over Emerson Royal every day of the week. I'm just waiting to see the replay again. 1 second. Okay, so the ball's
leathers it, doesn't
the ball's played out wide.
It.
Porro and just right. Yeah, absolutely. Good goal. From left to right. Sonny across the he's in acres.
I'll tell you what, he's been in acres all game, and he had a shot very similar earlier, but he put it on his left foot and absolutely spooned it miles out of the stadium. This time he takes it, puts it on his right foot, and just rifles it. Really good goal.
I'll tell you what, if you were the Southampton manager, you're asking the question, why is their right wing back in acres of space? Kuva looks like he's doing something.
I think that was a nice assist by Sonny as well.
It is a very good assist.
Yeah, Sonny played the ball across. Perchy, is your phone on your desk?
Oh, can you hear it? Sorry.
In my ear, it keeps going, like, just so you know.
Sorry. I'll put it on.
Yeah, okay. So listen, guys, what I want to see now is come out second half and finish the job off. I don't want to see coming out, sitting back. I want to see us coming out and going for it. What the chances of that, Kuva?
We've got a lead now, so no, we'll probably sit back. Then again, there have been games this season where we do improve in the second half. Who knows? And
Nathan, please stop watching my channel. Sorry, Nathan, please stop watching my channel. Listen, if you don't listen, I'll tell you what, I'll invite you on to have the debate. No one said that we're not in a good league position. I think fans are bored of watching us, Nathan. There's a huge difference. And if you don't understand that, I don't know what to tell you. Everyone is welcome to enjoy what they want. Whether I go to bed tonight and Spurs are 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, it doesn't make a difference to me if I've not enjoyed it. Sorry, I don't know, Kuva, am I wrong there? If I've not enjoyed it, absolutely. I don't care.
I've said this before. If we went a season of winning all 38 games 1-0, and they're all just a penalty in the last minute, and it's the only shot on in the entire game, great. I like seeing it on the back of the paper, but I am not watching us. No,
I think
absolutely.
And the point I was just going to make on what he just said there as well. The bit that he says got us third. What? He's got a second loser playing some of the worst football in the league. Listen, and the thing is and the reason why we're third, it's not because of the way that we're playing football. It's nothing to it. It's because we've got good attacking players. Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, Kulasavsky. You could argue Porro today's looked really good. it really irritates me because he's got us third. There's other managers that have played good football with at us and have got us in third place. If, for example, the only caveat I would say about Conte, if Conte had us in a title race and we were competing with Arsenal and Man City, I would be one of those and went, do you know what? I can't argue because he's got this team in a title race. Yes, the football's boring, but I can sit back and go, do you know what? I'll accept it because we have an opportunity to win the league. We're nowhere near winning anything this season. That's the difference.
I think, but by the way, Nathan, I don't think I've been unnecessarily aggressive in any way, shape, or form. So please, not that narrative. Nathan, I'm going to put the link to the show in the chat. Come on, because I see you every show digging and digging and digging. Put your balls on the line, my friend. Come on, I'll put the link in the chat. Let me know if you want to. Let me know if you want to come on, and you can tell me why I should like Antonio Conte. How's that? Only Nathan. Don't anybody else try. Sorry, hang on, one second, Hoover. Nobody else use this link. I will not let you in. Nathan, come in. Let's see your excuse for not coming on and talking. We'll see. There you go. There you go. Sorry, Hoover, as you were saying.
Yeah, it's so well and good saying, oh, look at the league position we're in with Conte at the moment. What about when we were in fifth and it didn't look like we're going to get top four? Was that good too?
Yeah.
What happens if we fall out from top four and go back to fifth or even sixth? Is that still going to be good? No, we're in a temporary place. We can be overtaken, and it's not over, is it? So if we finish lower than fourth, that's a downgrade on last season. There's no other way of judging it. We've had transfer windows. Apparently, Conte's been back. I don't agree with it, but apparently he has.
Just quickly, somebody's come into my back, into the back room. Is that you, Nathan? If it is, please put your camera on. It says TFC fan Washington. I don't know who that is. And Nathan, if you want to come on, listen, I'm all for. I think the thing with this, guys, is I've never said to anyone. I don't think you have, Coover, either. You've never told anyone you mustn't like Conte. It's just that you said you don't like Conte's football. I've said I don't like his football. Third is great. All right, we're third at the moment. Brilliant. So what difference do I get from Spurs finishing third this year to fourth last year? What, as a football fan, what do I get?
Exactly. And also, part of the argument always seems to go like, oh, well, we didn't win anything under Pochettino. Well, so he's got to be criticised for that. Yeah, if we're not winning anything under Conte, he's got to be praised for that.
Yeah. But also the other thing is what I always use to sort of elaborate with people all the time about this. When everyone says we're in third place, you have to use logic in it. You can't use positions as a way to judge a manager because it's all relative in the season that you're playing. We finished with 71 points last season. We're currently on, I want to say 51 if it stays like this. Yeah, because we would have been on 48, so we'd be on 51 with 10 games to go. Are we going to get, if people think that we're going to have more than 71 points at the end of the season, I will say Conte's improved us this season because that's how it works. If you've got more points in the league than the season before, and obviously you have to put context.
Hang on, but even then, but even then the context is, that's how it works, not how it works for everyone.
No, I agree.
Hang on. We could finish 3 points higher than last season. All I know is what I'm watching, I don't enjoy. I watch other teams play. I watch Brighton play, and you think that's how you play football, right? And Brighton aren't probably going to finish as high as us, but you watch them and go, good. I bet their fans are loving it. I watch us give Southampton all the ball, hit them on the counter attack, and people go, Conte. Not for me. Sorry, not for me.
If you're going to use the argument just purely looking at success terms, the progress would be extra points compared to last season. But the added context is look at those cup exits.
Yeah,
spot on. Yeah, because Kuva, that was what I was just going to allude to. For example, finishing 10th but winning the FA Cup is a better season than
please.
finishing third. I don't care what anybody says. That is a better season. For example, I say this all the time. For example, we could finish bottom of the league and win the Champions League. That would be a better season than finishing third. I say this, and people completely misinterpret it. The disrespect, and I do want to say this, the absolute disrespect I saw from Arsenal fans getting knocked out of the Europa League says everything what football fans are in this day and age. The absolute disrespect to the UEFA Cup is unbelievable. And I saw Arsenal fans sitting going, well, it's fine. I don't mind getting knocked out of this because we've got a better chance of winning the league. I said, what? The UEFA Cup? A trophy you guys have never won. But it's the day and age now that, and someone put it in the chat earlier on today when we were saying that Arsene Wenger has brainwashed football fans into thinking that finishing in the Champions League is better than a trophy, because he came out and said finishing fourth we should get a trophy for finishing in the top four. No, it's third loser. I say this all the time, and people completely have now been warped into this belief that finishing in Champions League football is some sort of achievement. What? How? And it's only an achievement if we go out and, you know what, we're going to give it our all and go out there and win it. We played a Europa League standard and got knocked out of it. Let's be honest.
Just quickly, but Nathan, I'm not going to call you a coward. I just wish that I see the same people that constantly dig. It's not like people make the odd comment. People like you come in and dig and dig and dig, but then whenever you're offered the opportunity to actually have the conversation, you don't do it. So I'm not calling you a coward, but whenever you're ready, it doesn't have to be today. Come on and tell me why I must like paint drying football. Let's move away from Antonio Conte. I'm so bored of the conversation of Antonio Conte, if I'm honest. And I am one of those fans who is looking forward to him leaving at the end of the summer. Let's go to some of the questions that people did ask in the first half. So Dominic Carney has said, it looks like he's a Chelsea fan, has said, do you all want Enrique or do you want someone else? Cooper, I'll start with you. I guess the difficulty with this, mate, is I think it all depends on what plan and strategy the club want to implement, right, as to who the next manager is. But what do you think of Enrique?
Oh yeah, if Enrique comes in and we're allowed to buy players to fit his style of football, I am all for it. It's good football, without doubt. The question is, it's those long-term things that we keep talking about.
Yeah,
is the club actually going to have a long-term project? And we're not just talking about one manager over 2 or 3 years. We're talking about the next 15 to 20 years and beyond. Even resetting the club to what it used to be. That like you keep saying, free-flowing, attacking, passing, two-touch football. It's not some silly pipe dream. It's perfectly doable. Loads of teams still play that way. I don't see why we're not. I think I'd love to see a manager in like that wants to play it. I think with the likes of Udogie and Porro in now, Udogie for next season, Porro now, we've certainly got wing backs for it. We've got the likes of Romero at the back. He certainly can buy into that system. I think the likes of Sonny and Kane will get a new lease of life. I think Kulasavsky would take to it. I'm all for it. Quite happy to play anybody that wants to play total football or any version of the game based on that.
Anyone who wants to get the ball on the deck and play some football.
Yeah, stroke it around, entertain, and just go for it. Scoring goals, that's all it's about. Absolutely throw the kitchen sink at the other team. People were criticizing Ozzy Ardiles, but for when he was in charge, because we were languishing near the foot of the table. But I think that's one of those ones where I would have said double down. You back it all the way. You take it to as far as you can go with it. Because at the end of the day, that gets the fans going. If you're attacking and you'll pepper it, if you're pebble dashing the opponent's goal all the time, you can get behind that. But sitting back doing nothing and then hopefully getting a 1-0 win or something, sod that. I don't waste my time to do that. It's bad. It's terrible if you have to go and do the game and you're paying money for this. It's terrible if you're paying money to watch it online. But even streaming it for free on dodgy sites, I feel like it's a waste of my time. It's disrespectful to my own time. I would sooner do something else. That's why I'm all against Conte and managers like him. Didn't like Mourinho, didn't want him, didn't want Nuno, didn't want Conte. Give me another Pochettino type player, manager every time. Like I said, Brendan Rodgers, I'll be happy with that. He plays football. Imagine what he could do with our resources instead of Leicester's. Due respect to Leicester, but if he came along, brought and brought certain players with him from Leicester, I think we could do quite well next season.
No, I agree. Perchi, Luis Enrique, what are your thoughts?
Why not? But I think for me, I've always said is that it's all about the plan. I'm now bored of the manager selection because realistically, unless we've got a proper plan, then it really doesn't matter, does it? Does it matter if we have Enrique or Ryan Mason in? Unless we've got a strategy to go, do you know what? This is the man in charge. We're going to stick with him no matter what. And the attitude is this is how we're going to play. And we're going to play this attacking football, high pressing, aggressive strategy. And we're going to get in the right players for that. Because at the moment, what we have at the moment is we've got a mismatch of players. Ooh. Welcome to the Perchy TV. This is your host at the Perchy.
Joint host. So we're taking it forward, mate.
Yeah. This is Couva Talks Football and at the Perchy TV. How has everyone been? But yeah, no, that's what realistically for me, I said for me, if it was me and I had it my way, I would start again, go in and look at someone like a Michael Carrick or a Vincent Kompany and go, do you know what? You're the guy I want to back here. It doesn't matter if you finish mid-table next season for the next 3 years, but we're going to stick by you and we're going to build everything around you. We're going to gut out. I want us to now have a plan for the post-Kane, Son, Lloris era. We haven't got that. And me and Savva, we were on Henry's channel a few days ago, and we were talking about goalkeepers. The fact that we're going to offer Hugo Lloris another goalkeeper, we're going to give him another contract, tells me we have no plan at this football club. Tells me that we haven't got a 5-year strategy to go, do you know what? Hugo's going in his contract ends next season. What's the idea? What we're going to do there? Basically, we're going to put a sticky plaster on him for another year and go, here you go. We're going to keep you for another year.
Saves on that, doesn't it?
But it
does.
The problem is it does save on that. But what it shouldn't do, because actually because when you actually have an actual strategy, you can save money. Yes, you're going to have to spend money, but if you're doing it right, you don't have to do it more than once. And what we do, I know what's going to happen. My presumption is we're going to get it wrong 3 times with goalkeepers. We're going to sign one. He's going to be crap and not work. We're going to sign a second. It's going to be the same. And then the third one's going to work. And we're going to have spent north of 90 million quid on goalkeepers to try and find the right one. Because we don't I know how we work. We don't get anything right. Very rarely do we.
Okay, just quickly, people, everyone in the chat, there's nearly 100 of you in the chat across Twitch and across YouTube. If you haven't already, can I kindly ask, if you would be so kind, to subscribe? We're 290 away from the 4K mark, and I'm trying to get to the 4K mark before the channel is 1 year old, which is the 13th of April. I'll be quite happy. I think 4,000 subscribers in a year is in year one is quite a decent measure. So if you would be so kind, we're on 3,715 at the moment. If you please go over and subscribe, that would be much appreciated. And subscribe to the Perchy TV as well. And also go over and subscribe to the Free Spurs boys, Kuv and the Kang. Let me know if you do subscribe. Please put in the channel that you have just subscribed so that I can thank you. Let's go to another question, guys. Let's have a look. We've done the Enrique one. Young Plays Football has said predictions on when the manager merry-go-round ends, and does Kane leave? Yes or no answers. Wow. All right, we're getting specifics. We're being told off there already. Kuva, when does the manager merry-go-round end? And
when does the manager merry-go-round end? Yes.
I think
yes or no answer. So
I think that was to the Kane question, Kuva. Don't be facetious. Come on.
Yeah, manager merry-go-rounds. There will always go on.
Yeah.
Always happens in the seasons. So that's an ongoing thing. Not really worried about that. It's constant change. Does Kane leave? My gut feeling is no. I think he's got it. It comes down to the fact that he's quite settled and he's got a young family, and he is banging goals in. He's England captain. He's banging goals in internationally as well. It's not like people don't know who Harry Kane is. He's making a packet of money. There are things that are keeping him grounded. Now, is he going to uproot just to chase trophies in his final years? Possibly. I just don't see it happening this summer. I don't see who the logical club to him to go for is other than Man United or even a Chelsea. Chelsea are sort of, I can't see him doing that. Can't see him doing a sort of gamble somehow.
I can't see him going Chelsea. It's got Man U written all over it. I think if anything, that's it. I just think we will be hanging on to him. It's just the way it is. He's Spurs. He's Mr. Spurs for us, isn't he? That's all there is to it. It's difficult to imagine, but we do have to look to the future as well. There will be a day when he doesn't play for us anymore, whether he's retired, out injured, whatever, or sold. So we've got to start building a team that's capable of playing football and winning without him in it. So just get those quality players in. Comes back to the likes of Luis Enrique. I think getting the manager with the style of football that's enjoyable and just go with it. Absolutely hell for leather, go for it. From academy upwards, just get everybody in the club pulling in the same direction, not chopping and changing every 2 years. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Perchy, is Kane leaving?
I don't know. The fact that there's not a lot of talk from his end can be debated on either way. Maybe he is planning to sort of. I think the only way he leaves if he says, I don't want to play for Tottenham anymore. I don't think he goes anywhere else because I think the price tag that we'll want, people will look and go, we can get him on a free next season.
Yeah.
I think, and I think you're right. I think I panic the Chelsea link. The Chelsea one is a panic because I look and go, they need a goalkeeper and so they need a goal scorer, and will be happily staying there. I don't think it will happen though. I think it won't. Man United again, massive point. I think that would be he would win Man United the title next season if he went there. Mm-hmm. I think and before people in the comment clip this, by the way, what I'm going to say is, and I don't mean it in a bad way, I mean it retrospectively. Is it the end of the world if Kane goes now? I think in short term, yes. Is it I think the longer he's here, it allows the way that we operate to get away with it. Because as I always say, Kane is the one that drags us to get into Champions League football. Without Harry Kane, we're nowhere near this Champions League race. I think without hitting this season, I think we're mid-table side. I think we would be in the Aston Villa region this season if it wasn't for Harry Kane. Because I don't think we score enough goals. Is it?
Yeah,
we have to have a longer-term project.
That's the thing. Like Sean always says, by the way, I'm seeing a lot of people say that it is 1-1. On my stream, it is still 1-0. So at the moment, Spurs are third, and it's just gone in. It is 1-1. We're back to full. So yes, Che Adams a bloke who probably gets 4 goals a season gets a goal. Look, we'll talk about that in a second. But I think the key thing for me to answer Yun's question is, does Kane leave? For me, it's all about 2 things. 1, what's his ambition? And 2, does he hand in a transfer request versus just seeing the contract out? Because I truly believe that if he decides to see the contract out, that I think that Daniel Levy would keep him. I think he would price everybody out, keep him for a year and have his goals so that he can push the problem a year further down the line. That's what I think. Yeah. But if he does want to go, I think the only way he's going to feasibly force his way out is to hand in a transfer request.
I I think if Kane was going to go, it would have been last summer when Man City came sniffing. If he really wanted to go, I think he would have slapped in a transfer request then.
I agree. All of this, he wanted to leave. All right, well, listen, if you're my boss, Cooper, and I really want to go somewhere else, I'm literally coming in and going, I know it's slightly different in the real world, but in my world, it's here's my resignation. In their world, it's here's a transfer request. I can't be any clearer that I don't want to be here anymore, right? But I don't know if Kane's got that. I don't know if that's his... I don't know if he's got that ambition, if I'm completely honest. Leeds have taken the lead. Leeds have doubled their lead away at Wolves. Wolves 0, Leeds 2. Leeds going to be outside of the bottom 3 tonight. So it's very... I mean, let's be fair. Because we're not down there, Coover, it's a very exciting relegation battle this season, isn't it? With like 8 teams down there.
I couldn't give a toss, mate.
Oh, man, you go. It's good to see, though. I hate it when... There
is the football side of me that says, yeah, you could have something worth watching, some sort of intrigue. Because sure as hell don't get it from our side. So I'm a football fan at the end of the day. That's football fan first. I'm Spurs second. It's always where most people fall in love with the game before they pick a team, don't they? So
no, they do. I just mean from the point of view that
there's interest. Yeah, like you said, there's no teams cut away with no hope at this stage.
Yeah,
it's like there's so many teams in that mix. 8 teams. You wouldn't want to put money on any of them going down or staying up, would you?
No, absolutely. I'll leave you with this next question, Perchy. I just need to quickly go and do something. This is an interesting one. Dominic has said, do you think each team... Oh, no, sorry, not this one. I want to come back to this one later. M. Dot has said, a genuine question. Do you reckon Conte gets another top 6 club in the Premier League as manager? So I suppose... In essence, what we're talking about there is, would any of the top 6 take him if he wasn't at Tottenham?
Let's list it. Arsenal, I think they've got a totally different project. No. Man City, no. Third is Man United, no. Us, no. Who's 5th? Newcastle, maybe. No. I don't think they would, but I think if they had the opportunity, maybe I'll put a maybe on that one. And 6th is Liverpool. No. So I think half a point maybe I would give. I think maybe if these owners wanted that sort of celebrity kind of star name in charge and they wanted to throw the book and go maybe, but realistically, no.
So many of those teams have a style of play that they just would not sacrifice for Conte.
No. I think Newcastle's probably the only team nearest that play the style that he does, because Eddie Howe has started playing very defensive and he grinds it out, but he's playing with it. And this is okay. We'll kind of rephrase the question: does Antonio Conte get Newcastle into the Champions League? No. You think?
Maybe.
Really? With that squad? Look at Newcastle's squad right now. You really think...
I'll just look at what we've got, and we're in 4th with Conte, so yeah, maybe. I just think the level of competition is not great at the moment.
But don't you think we've got a better squad than Newcastle, pound for pound, player for player? That's, I think, my argument.
Only really in the forwards positions. But you look at them defensively. I'll take their entire defensive line and goalkeeper over ours.
Yeah, but
who's that?
I don't. No, so we were just rephrasing it. So we were just answering the question. So I said the only other team that potentially would get an Antonio Conte is Newcastle if they wanted a star name in charge. I think the rest of them no. But I've reversed the question for a second to say, if you switch managers, would Conte get that Newcastle team into the top 4? And I said no chance. I don't think he makes.
I don't think he would, and I'll tell you the reason why. When I watch teams play, I always think, are they a product of their manager? right? I'll tell you what I mean by that. When you watch Man City play, Man City are a product of Pep Guardiola's management style, the way he played. They are a product of that. When I watch Tottenham Hotspur play, I don't think we're a product of anything. I think we are a team that rely on Kane, Son and Kulasavsky to do something magical. I don't think we're a product of a system. I don't think we play good football. And here's a guy, Alex, welcome to the show, that I know doesn't like our style of play. Have you been watching the game today, Alex?
Yeah, I'm Netflix and chill. Honestly, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. At the
hang on. So you're watching the game or you're watching Netflix?
Yeah, I'm watching this. It's like Netflix and chill. That's what I'm saying. It's like Netflix.
Oh,
and chill.
It's like there's no excitement. It's just easy watching, right? It's like it's bad.
I'm not that bothered anymore about this league anymore. I've got to be honest. Like I said, listen. I've heard the story before with Tottenham. So, yeah, I mean, it's all fun for me. I'm glad Poirier scored though. I'm glad Poirier scored. It's an easy goal, but that's the reason why I like Emerson. I like Poirier than Emerson because he's more attacking. He's more attacking. Absolutely. I love that goal because he put his foot through it and it was a good goal. It's been a poor game though. It's been a poor game, but
isn't this just? I was going to say that, Alex. Isn't this just a standard Spurs game? Isn't this what we do every game?
Well, it's like I said before during the AC Milan game. Before the game, I had a chicken because I knew it's going to be an absolutely rubbish game. After half time, I had a drink, well, a Coke because I don't drink, and had some crisps. I felt absolutely fine. You saw Phil, who big up to Phil by the way, Phil P. I love him. He's a great guy, but he wasn't prepared, and look what happened. Rants.
He wasn't prepared.
He wasn't prepared. That's the thing. You just got to be prepared.
That's right. Tottenham isn't a place; it's a state of mind, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's absolutely fine. It's just like people say, "Oh, you complain about going to games." No, I'm not complaining. I'll go because of my reasons, personal reasons, and that's it.
Is this like going to the doctors and saying, "Look, all these things are wrong with me," and the doctor says, "I'm diagnosing you with a touch of the Tottenhams." Like it's look, it is tough to watch, but look, Southampton have come out flying. Everything I've seen since is now all Southampton. They've got all the ball. They're trying to prod. They're trying to probe. There's a VAR decision for some reason. Somebody who's ahead of me in the chat will tell me which way. Paul Merson's come up and said it's a VAR.
Southampton handball, possibly.
Yeah, that's what I think. It's going to VAR.
I mean, listen, I love Spurs, but
if that's a penalty,
if that was ever given as a penalty, football would have to stop. Yeah. It's not been given.
Ridiculous.
No, ridiculous.
Yeah, it's never.
What we were saying earlier, guys, about VAR, that for me shouldn't even be looked at. That's not a decision to be looked at. Hang on, Kulu's got the ball going down the wing.
We did it quickly, offside. To be fair.
Yeah, that's how it should all be. Alex, some people have been saying to us we should be happy and we're ungrateful because for a brief moment there we were third. Does league position matter to you over style of play, Alex?
Style of play is important to me now. I'm sorry, I'm not this. There's a reason why I like Poch. I respect Poch. I respected Martin Jol and I respected Harry Redknapp because they play good football. And that's it. And simple as that. I'm a guy that likes good football. If you're going to play this sort of football, you need to win trophies. Yeah, you have to win trophies.
Look at Wayne Holland appearing as soon as Leicester have equalised away at Brentford. Here he is. Hello, Wayne. Who scored the goal, Wayne? I did see, but I think I've forgotten in that brief moment of time. Big up to Wayne, one of the nicest people in the community, in the football community. Let's go to another question. I'll start with you, Alex. Ngoni has said, question, is the UEFA Champions League draw rigged? This is the third season in a row that his Chelsea are getting Real Madrid. Alex, wouldn't you just say that that's, if you're going to get to the quarters and semis of massive competitions, you're going to constantly draw massive teams, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But can I just say something, though? It's Kuva and Perchi were absolutely spot on what Arsenal fans were going on about. I thought that was absolutely disrespectful what they said about the Europa League. Absolutely so disrespectful. It's like,
what did they say?
Competition. So it's a Mickey Mouse competition. Some of them, I'll bail them out. Absolutely, so much disrespect. It's unbelievable.
They've never won it.
Could have won it. And at the end of the day, you only got a number amount of trophies to win. You know what I mean? And they're going on like it's beneath them. I mean,
but Alex, Arsenal were the example, but it's football fans in general now. It's fans. It's football fans in general. We've had our fans that absolutely took a mockery of us in the Conference League, and I sat there and when it's an opportunity to win a European trophy, why are we sitting there slandering it?
Do you not think, Alex? Do you not think a lot of it was that they? I think if you looked at a lot of Arsenal fans in the immediate aftermath of going out, it was disappointment, anger, frustration. And then I think it was the next day was a bit more, who cares anyway, because they've realised, hang on, we're 10 games away from winning a league title. I don't know if it was actually believed that it was beneath them.
I think it's more a case of, you know, when you're at school, you get turned down by a girl. It's like, oh, I don't care. I didn't like her anyway. She's ugly. I'm moving on.
Sorry, I've never been turned down. I don't know what that means, mate. What does that feel like?
I don't know. I've read about it once.
Alex is a stud, by the way. He doesn't know what it's all about. He goes to Soka at the weekend and gets all the girl dem.
Oh no! I get turned down a lot of the time. Unfortunately, Alex is a bit of a wuss. Alex is a bit of a wuss. Mr. Box
They
Office,
need to get to know, don't they?
Yeah.
They know you need to get to know.
Alex, tell me when you go to a bar or nightclub, you don't go as Alex. Tell me you rock up as Mr. Box Office with all that.
Mr. Box Office. No, that's why I slapped his ass. I sacked his ass out the door. You know what I mean?
Slapped or sacked?
Sacked his ass out the door, like, you know what I mean? I just said to him, no, sorry, it's Mr. Box Office time. That's it, and we're taking over now. That's quickly,
the Wolves fans will be very, very unhappy. They are 3-0 down at home to Leeds United in what is a massive 6-pointer. 3-0 down, and you think Spurs went to Wolves and lost?
Yeah.
We went to Wolves and lost.
Good goal as well. Great to win at home as well, didn't we?
Can I just say something about this Arsenal thing?
Yeah.
Can I say something about this Arsenal thing? The thing that I have a bit of a problem with it, and I had a problem with Tottenham as well last season. I said, well, if you can't do the Conference League and you can't do the Europa League, how the hell are you supposed to do the Champions League, mate? You know what I mean? Like, you got to do 2 games a week.
Bang on.
Two games a week. Yeah, if you can't do 2 games a week in the Conference League and the Europa League, how the hell are you supposed to do Champions? And Champions League is even more ruthless because you're playing Wednesday. You might be playing 12:30 on a Saturday morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, I think the thing is, Alex. Look, it's the same with anything in football. It's very reactionary, right? Like, let's be fair. If Spurs had won the Conference League last year under Conte, everyone would be saying, there you go, European trophy, the guy's a winner. Because we got knocked out, it was Mickey Mouse Cup anyway. Who wants to win it? And when you'll see that, Alex, right, for me is, if West Ham, and let's talk about this, if West Ham, right, win the Conference League and win a European trophy before we do, it will be utterly embarrassing. But our fans will spin it as, it's a rubbish cup anyway. No, if you're in a trophy, you're in it for a reason. Try and win it, right? Surely, if you're in a trophy and you win it, you're the best team out of the, I don't know how many people started the Conference League, 120 or 80 or 60, whatever. You are the best team of the lot. Yeah. Isn't that the point of competition?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think West Ham had a better season last.
I've seen people mocking West Ham fans, our fan base mocking them. I said, can we get our powder dry here and think about it? This is a tournament we couldn't get out of the group, regardless if we couldn't play that last game. We lost to NS Mura in that tournament last year.
NS Mura.
But this is my point. This is the exact same tournament. People were telling me that, it's a disgrace that you want to win this tournament. I went, why? How's it a disgrace? It's a trophy. It's a trophy that has, and in no disrespectful terms, very average football teams in it. That's not being disrespectful. There were some all right teams in there. But let's not be honest, there wasn't anything that you're looking at and go, oh gosh, they were terrifying to play against. But it's the narrative that I'm seeing this from it. And Spurs fans are part of this, by the way. Arsenal were the ones that did it with the Europa League. And when someone says, about when they got knocked out, I had some saying they didn't want to be in the tournament. They would rather focus on the league. I said, If you're good enough, you should be able to win both of the tournaments. But
I think it's context, isn't it, Percy? Because look, if Arsenal go and win the league, I'm not saying they will, but if Arsenal go on and win the league, no one at all is gonna care about not going through in the Europa League. No one's gonna be able to cuss. We won't be able to sit there and go, gutted, you got knocked out to Sporting Lisbon if they win a Premier League title. Right now, This is even funnier for me. The prospect of West Ham, I almost want this to happen, to be honest, right? Because I've got so many mates who, hang on, Southampton here. Oh, hang on. So, West Ham winning the Conference League and getting into the Europa League via proxy, right? And getting relegated to the Championship. I think that would be absolutely marvellous to see. I'd love to see how happy they are for that brief moment in time and then get relegated. Anyone with me on that?
You know what? I don't think it would be that harmful to them.
No, I don't either.
They'll get parachute payments. They'll come straight back up again.
I agree.
And they'll have a trophy to show for it. And they're still in Europe the next season.
And also, what I was going to say on that, and they will also have, when you go down, you get a lot of them that will just jump ship. A lot of them would probably stay there as well in Europe.
Well, they'd have that. You think as well in the summer they're going to get 100 to 120 million in their back pockets for Declan Rice as well. Yeah. If you think about it, so they're going to be in. I'm not saying they're going down, by the way. At the moment, I think it's so difficult to call which team gets relegated. No one can string a run of results together. Apparently, Harry Kane has just put us 2-1 up. I haven't seen the goal yet, but of course it's Kane. Let's have a look. Hasn't come in on mine yet.
I was just going to say on it, the Wolves pulled one back and scored. Johnny Otto scored an absolute worldie. He's hit it from about. He's just chipped the keeper from about 40 yards out.
Wow. I think he's a good player, that Johnny guy. Harry Kane scored. I don't know how far behind I must be. At the moment,
I haven't seen it yet either.
At the moment, I've got a West Ham, Southampton player down injured, and it's 1-1. Alex, have you seen the goal on your stream?
We're getting there.
No, hang on. Okay, hang on. Perez, there you go. Yeah. Long lane. Skip's got the ball on the halfway line.
Yeah, I've seen it out.
Now. He's put it out. Just seen it. Porro's put the ball down the line to Kulu, who's cutting onto his left, whipped in the ball. Harry Kane, simple as you like. Lovely. Absolutely brilliant. Simple football.
Yep.
Why don't we do that more? Yeah. Simple.
Bang on.
Simple football. Play through the midfield, out wide, whipped in across. Lovely. Will we go on to win this now? Alex, are we going to hold on and win this?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm not excited by it, but yeah, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But again, it just proves to me again with Harry Kane FC. Bloody hell, it's unbelievable. You know what I mean? So I'm tired of watching.
I don't know why we don't just play 4-4-2. Just play wide football. Go 4-4-2. Put Kulu out on one wing, Son on the other wing, or Perisic on the other wing, and go a combination of either Kane and Son or Kane and Richarlison. I don't understand why we don't just be simple with it.
I agree. I think that's our strength. Our strength is get the ball into Kane more. Like that for me is how I would play. I
would put Kane and Richarlison up front as a pairing.
Yeah,
I think two big lads, a big aerial threat, both of them, and get stuck in. If you got fill the attacking roles with talent around them, you're going to create stuff.
Who said this? Levy Out said, the mad thing is we hate this club and this season, but still get slightly happy by a goal. I'll tell you what, I've got to the stage where I'm just expecting a goal, but to be honest, I feel like we're playing bottom of the league. I know what will happen. We'll win this game and fans will just go into absolute hysteria again because we've beaten a team in the bottom. But look, I'm still going to stick with my prediction of what I thought. I think we're going to finish fourth. I do. I think once everyone's played all their games in hand, I think we will finish fourth in this league. Anyone else think we'll finish lower or higher than fourth?
Just fourth.
Just fourth?
Because of Harry Kane. Because of Harry Kane and his goals. And that's it. Simple.
I thought we were going to finish lower, I must admit, but we keep chipping away and getting results, don't we?
And because other teams are playing rubbish as well. That's the other reason why Liverpool, Chelsea are not in there as well.
Yeah, we say that, but I think you've got to give credit where it's due, right? When I say credit, look, do I like the football? No. Do we drag out enough results to get top four? I think we do. I think there's not enough teams that can cope with Harry Kane to stop us. The question for me is, how do we evolve then next year? If we get fourth again, we've got Champions League. How do we evolve? Because I don't want to watch this again next year. I'll be honest. I don't want to watch the football we're playing.
Depends who the manager is.
Well, no, I think. I was just sorry. I didn't mean to jump in, but I think we'll finish. I'll be honest. I think we'll finish third this season, and people will get really excited about it. And I'll sit there and go, and similar to what you just said, Savva, like it really doesn't mean anything unless we got. If we don't know who the manager is, and I think that's the key part. We're kind of at a start again, aren't we? For example, I'm going to say this, I wouldn't even be too bothered. If Conte does stay, by the way, and I will make this clear, if he does stay on with us and we finish third or fourth, I expect the manager then to put us into a title race, because everyone tells me he's this great manager. He's got us into the Champions League a couple of seasons. I expect us to be winning something next season if he's in charge. If we've got a new manager, we've got to start again, and then we start again and again and again. But
do you expect him to put you in a title race though? When you look at the squad, do you expect that?
Do I think you will? No, but you can't have it both ways though. Do you see what I mean? You can't have it both. People sit and tell me he's this incredible manager, and him getting us in, he's improved us this season into third place. So I expect him to be challenging for trophies next season, because I follow the patterns. People tell me how good he is. So if he's that good, then he should be taking this team and turning us into winning trophies. Doesn't have to be the league. It could be a challenge for the Champions League, an FA Cup, a League Cup. But this season,
I guess that's the point. If we can finish fourth 2 years in a row, all of these excuses as to why then we can't beat Sheffield United's B team, why we can't beat Middlesbrough away, Moura, it just, for me, that's where it doesn't make any sense. I feel if you are fourth 2 years in a row, at some point you've got to go and win that cup, right? But by the way, we haven't finished fourth. We could finish. For me, I think we're going to finish third or fourth. Do I think we'll get third? I think that, I don't know. I think the one saving grace for us on this, the one saving grace, I think the one factor that could play into us possibly getting third is United are still in 3 competitions.
That's the point.
That's why I think we'll finish third.
I'm still going to go fourth. Wolves have scored. It's 3-2. Leeds, Wolves 2, Leeds 3.
I was going to say, if you're watching the game at Molineux, by the way, it's an absolute humdinger of a game. This is brilliant football.
That's what I say. Is that's why I'm not so rating Tottenham at the moment, because they've got one game a week. You know what I mean? And I understand why people say, well, we don't give them credit, but it's a bang average league, Savva. Yeah, I'm not changing my mind.
I agree with you.
I'm sorry. I haven't changed my mind. You know what I mean? I'm sorry.
And why? Yeah. And why?
I respect other people's opinion, but it's just my opinion now. I just, you know.
No, you're right.
I just feel that. You know what I mean? I know my football. I know my football. You know, when I was younger, I know when it was really, really good, really, really good. That when you saw top players at their pomp. Right now, I don't feel that at the moment. Southampton are poor. You know, they're absolutely poor.
Alex, the thing is, you're absolutely bang on there.
Yeah, why are we striving for top 4 anyway? Just to get back into a competition that we pissed away against AC Milan anyway.
Yes,
we didn't play anybody. I'm trying to not say. I'm trying to be disrespectful, not be disrespectful, but we didn't play anybody. You know what I mean? We didn't play any of the decent.
And do you know what?
Turns, didn't we?
If you looked at that draw as well, if we'd have won against AC Milan, and I'm not saying we would have got to the final, but I tell you, we would have been on the right side of that like quarter-final and semi-final. I don't think we would have got there, but you'd have rather played Napoli and then Inter Milan or Benfica than playing against Real Madrid, that side. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it just makes you
not Napoli this season.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm talking about it like
just on paper.
Just on paper, you'd have rather avoided Real Madrid and Bayern Munich until, like, do you know what I mean, on that side of it?
Yeah.
But can I just say on that, I hear this a lot, and I've got a different theory to this. I think that it's the butterfly effect, right? I think we always do this. Like, we did this with the knocking out in the FA Cup, and it was like, oh, but we would have had Blackburn. if, buts, maybes. If we had gone through, who's to say the ball would have still come out that same way? Look, at the end of the day, I don't take into account who we should have been playing next. We should not be getting knocked out to that Milan team. Yeah, that is not a good Milan team these days. We should not be getting knocked out to Sheffield United. We should not have been getting knocked out to Nottingham Forest B team away. But if people just want top 4 and if people want to celebrate that, I'm not going to knock them for that. Cool. I don't want to be that person. Fill your boots, go and celebrate top 4, finishing third, top 4. For me, though, I want to watch my team play on a Saturday or a Sunday and at the end of the game go, God, that was good. Yeah. I really, really do. Unless, as I've always said, if you get to the end of the season and you've won the Champions League, the FA Cup, something like that, you can go, God, the football's awful, but fair play to the guy who's lifted a trophy.
That's exactly
we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're getting knocked out to inferior teams, let's call it what it is, and then going, yeah, but we got top 4, right? And like Kuva said, so what? We've got top 4. What are we going to do in the summer? Are we now going to go out this summer and buy top 4 players to kick us on? Are we going to go and buy the players like Leicester, like Man United buy? Are we going to buy the Casemiros, the Ericssons, the Antonys, the Martinezes, or are we going to go for 33-year-olds that are past it? Jed Spence's, Adogis who are 20 years of age. That's the key thing for me. I don't understand. Listen, childish comments like this, I will just delete immediately. I find it so childish.
Sorry.
I said we should be. Hang on, Perchy. Hang on.
Sorry. I hate this mud comment.
I hate it. I said we should win this game 3-0. We're playing the bottom of the league. This is how low. Sorry, guys, I'm going to rant. This is how low our expectations as a fan base are now. Right, that we beat West Ham, who were bottom 3, and everyone goes mental. We're beating Southampton, who are bottom of the table, and everyone's going, Savva in the mud. About what? What am I in the mud about? Because we're beating the team that everyone else beats because they're bottom of the table. Good goal. It's just come up. Good finish from Perisic.
I haven't seen it yet.
Q now. All the comments tomorrow are going to be Perisic class, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Have you seen it, Kuva? Alex, seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it now.
I haven't. I'm still a bit behind him. I'm on the corner.
God, you must be well behind if you didn't get it before me.
Yeah.
Good finish. That's what I thought we'd be getting more of from him, if I'm honest. Let's see.
Sad but true. This.
Oh, it's a good goal. Yep, just seen it now. Very good goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. That's what I expected more of him, to be fair.
Good finish. What was it? Knocked down by? Good finish. And I'm hoping there'll be nothing VAR related, right? That will just be a goal and...
No, it's definitely confirmed goal.
Good. You never know now.
You can't enjoy it.
Yeah. Oh, Bryce, it just makes me laugh. Listen, I know that guy was tongue-in-cheek, but the number of people I see, grown men, using the words in the mud, I don't understand. I've never understood it. Yeah?
It's not just that either.
It's football. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. No one... Listen, I'd like to think I get every opinion correct. I'd like to think you would, Kuva and Alex and Perchy as well, but we don't, right? No one gets every prediction correct. By the way, I said we were going to win this game 3-0, so I'm not sure. Sure I've even got this one wrong. Alex, our next 3 games coming up after this one, we have got Everton away. We have got why have I gone blank? We've got Everton away, Bournemouth at home, and one other. Anyone?
Brighton, I think.
And was it Brighton at home? How many points are we getting from those 3 games?
4.
4 points. Everton, Bournemouth, Brighton, 4 points. Where are the Southampton have scored? Apparently, it's 3-2.
Oh God, it's I've just switched over.
Good. Oh, I've just seen a wonderful save from Fraser Forster.
Yeah, it was a good save, wasn't it?
I think he's done a really good job, guys. I don't think he's done a lot wrong. since he's come in. Hang on. I'm guessing it's from this corner. 1 second, guys. Sorry. Corner from Ward-Prowse. Whipped in, headed out. Maybe it's not now.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
Hang
bad
on.
goal.
Out to Ward-Prowse again. Whipped in the cross.
It's a
Headed
really
back.
bad goal for the end.
Oh my God, who's marking him?
Yeah, it's a really bad goal. Really bad goal.
Have you seen that, Kuva?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Watching it now.
Who was marking him?
It's absolutely awful defending.
That is just shocking.
Absolutely shocking defending. Shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Wow.
Well, you say defending. I think that's being a bit generous.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Let's have a look at this. So James Ward-Prowse. I like James Ward-Prowse.
I do.
Dink to the back post. Look, oh my God, he's standing in the middle of the penalty box with no one around him.
Shocking defending.
Oh wow. Someone said nearly 3-3. I'll tell you what. Why is everyone else watching a stream that is so far ahead of mine?
Yeah, I was going to say.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Because yours is in the mud. Don't forget.
I was going to say, yeah, my internet's got to come through the mud and back out the other side.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! They nearly scored, and I'll tell you some great skill, some really good skill.
Who was that?
Some really good skill. I have to give it to him, man. That was some good skill there. I've got to give it to him. The way he just gets past the other. They're just useless, Tottenham. Honestly.
What makes me laugh? Savva was in the mud for about 30 seconds. It's incredible.
I'm always in the mud. Even when Spurs... Do you know the funniest one when I was in the mud, right? Is Spurs away at Man City. And I came onto Henry's channel before the game. And I said, look, I think these guys will stick a few past us. I said, I think they're going to batter us. Anyway, I go on at half-time. We're 2-0 up, aren't we? So at half-time, everyone in his comments... Savva's in the mud. Savva don't know ball. You don't know ball. All this nonsense. Savva in the mud. Savva in the mud. And I sat there and I said, do you know what, guys? Let's see at the end of the game because just relax. And by about 70 minutes into the game, I think Mahrez was rattling in their fourth.
I remember that was the best. I remember that collapsed. Was brilliant. I was in the chat for that. It was so funny.
I said to Henry, shall I put on one of the missus's mud bath face masks and just turn up on the screen with just covered in mud? But yeah, it all seemed a bit messy, so I just didn't bother with it.
I thought that would have been good. I think that's actually quite funny what you're doing there. Would have done.
Yeah, I know.
That was a good one, actually. That was a good one. That's a very good one, actually.
I had one of them today, actually. When I go to my barbers, right, completely off topic. When I go to my barbers, I get my nose done. So I get the wax in the nose where they pull the wax out. I get the face mask. Yeah, face mask off. Then the steam where they blow the steam in your face. Get the shoulder massage, the head scratcher. Oh,
it's good. Oh, they're the best. They are the best.
What are you talking about? Get in the shower, get some soap and a bloody flannel.
Oh, now when do you get Savva? Do you get the hot towel one where they just like wrap it around your face as well and leave you there?
Oh, I love that when they do that. Oh, I love it.
So good.
I love it. What's a flannel, Kuva?
Jesus Christ! Are we on? Is this a football show?
We can talk football for a second. Kulasavsky's gone down injured.
I effing love you, Kuva. I absolutely effing love you, Kuva. Honestly, that's all I'm going to say now. Whenever you say something, I was like, when I was listening to you, I was like, effing love you, bro. I love this guy.
I bet Kuva's had the same flannel since 1974.
Right. That's right. It's beige coloured, but it was white.
Of course it is.
It's beige coloured. Oh my God! Man. Now my stream's gone down. Oh my God! Yeah, you're right, Philly. This is better than Gillette Soccer Saturday. Anyone else stream gone down? My stream is rubbish.
The only thing that's gone down at the moment is Dejan Kulasavsky at the moment. So I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah, they're just showing a read. But I'm back. I've got one. I'm back. Caveman Kuva. There you go. John Ellis Hall said. Let's have a look. Bryce has said, you pay someone to put the wax sticks up your nose. That's what marriage is for. So, no, listen, you've got to do it. As you get older, you get the wax. I'm sure you've had this, you guys, right?
Yep.
And they put the wax, then they blow dry it with the hairdryer, and then they just go, boom. You go.
I do it myself. I do it myself now. I've got the stuff at home myself.
Oh, a real
Sorry,
modern man.
It's called
Modern
a
man.
man.
I can imagine you. Can we have like a fly on the wall watching Kuva do it like he's grooving? It'd be brilliant.
The way that some of these players are just going past our Tottenham players is unbelievable. You know what I mean?
Listen, I'll say again, I thought we'd win this game, but it's not good to watch. It's not
very good.
We should be dominating a team bottom of the league.
Yeah,
Stream in the mud, absolutely. Someone said Sar's about to come on. What happened with that? Sar came in and played a couple of good games, and then we didn't see him. And Skip's played every game since. Anyone surprised by that?
I'm a bit worried about Sar for next season because I just worry about whether he's going to be fitting into. Because I don't know who the manager is. We don't know who the manager is, and you know my thoughts on the manager. What's going to happen? But I just think for me, if we're going to change the style, I think he's going to be lost. Like some of the other players, like Skip, for instance. You know, they're played in so many styles of play now, different styles of play, that I just think they're going to be feeling lost. You know, they've got to learn a way of playing again. I don't think it's really useful to a young player. I don't think it's useful to them. You know, they need to learn how to, in a particular style. I think, you know what I mean, and that's how they develop. But I just think Skip is a good player. He's a good player when he wants to be. He's a very good player. He's got a lot of energy and everything else. But he's been playing in so many different styles that he's been ruined because of it. You know,
I'll be honest, Alex. I watch Skip, and I think when he's got a lot of time on the ball, he looks all right. I think he's one of those. The moment he's under pressure, I think you see that he's a very average footballer. And I think that of a lot of footballers, right? A lot of footballers, when they've got time on the ball, you can look better than you are. The top players for me are the ones that can play when they're under pressure. You know, especially in the central midfield. But listen, I don't think Skip's done anything wrong in the last 3 or 4 games.
And the elite players are the ones that create that time on the ball for themselves.
Correct.
Absolutely. The Daily Emerson substitution is about to happen.
He has to come on, doesn't he?
It's the Daily
Emerson.
Oh yeah, where's Danjuma? Where's Danjuma? I need to get a search party for Danjuma. Where's Danjuma, by the way?
So
where is he?
He's gone for Royal and Sar for Porro and Kulasavsky.
We haven't got more testimonial yet, by the way.
Okay, I'll tell you what. The yellow card Skip has just got, right, sums up everything I literally said to you 60 seconds ago, right? Oh, and I knew my stream would stop then. He's run the ball. Hang on, my stream's doing the... He's run the ball too far.
Sums up what you were saying. What, he came on with like a pedicure and some facial...
This isn't the stream for facials, Kuva. We'll talk about that later, all right? That's what we talk. That's what we talk about on the WhatsApp group, all right? Oh God,
When you say right in the mud. Is it mud really?
Oh God!
Oh Jesus Christ, Kuva, what is wrong with you? So we've got 5 minutes to go. Everyone in the chat, let us know. Are we holding on to this win? Surely we're going to hold on, aren't we? Surely we're holding on.
And also to the chat as well, right? Mr. Box Office is here right now, yeah? Right? if you think Mr. Box Office is in the mud, like the stream, bro. Like the stream, yeah? If you don't like Mr. Box Office, like the stream, you know what I mean? You know? Like the stream and subscribe to your boy Savva as well, like, and decide to purchase you as well.
Big
you know
up.
what I mean?
Big up.
I think I'm saying Alex said a minute ago I struck a chord. I'll worry about Sar for next season as well. And Bissouma. I don't think Conte really fancies them for the midfield slots. I think
one of the reasons why I want the manager gone, because I look at Bissouma's a great point. What player we signed. And the thing is it annoys me because I hear people tell me he's not good enough. Most teams around Europe around the Premier League, wanted a Bissouma in their team. And all of a sudden we come to Tottenham and he's somehow become crab. It doesn't work like that. Do you know what I mean?
You bought him for the wrong reason.
Could even see the two of them playing together in some games. But the more we're chipping away at the moment and getting results and sticking in that top 4, the more I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe Conte's going to be here next season.
That's fine. Okay. So as I've said before, Kuva, if Conte's here next season, What needs to happen is all the fans that keep saying Levy, right? Let's be really honest. And Coover, I know you're a massive Levy out as well, but we've said it before. We'll say it again. If Conte signs that contract, having had 18 months of seeing how they operate, that can no longer be he's not been backed. It will be, well, hang on, mate. You knew what you were getting in for here.
Basically,
so if he signs...
And it'll be 2 summer transfer windows. There's no getting away from that. You really should be turning something around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've said that all along. Do I like his football? No. But the biggest thing for me with Conte, more than anything, more than his football, more than all of that, is if I do not know who my manager is next year, why am I going to fully get behind a plan that they're having? Sign the contract, let us all get on with it, and then we go, right, Conte's here next year. We can stop talking about who the manager's going to be. Then we start day one of the summer transfer window going, right, okay, cool. What have Conte and Levy decided between them? Who are we buying? What caliber? Right, then we can get into it. But it's more than anything, look, I don't like his football, but more than that, it's the uncertainty, Coover, that I don't like.
Yeah.
Shawnee and I said it yesterday. If you were seeing a girl, you know that phase before you go actually official. If I'm saying, oh, sorry, will you go out with me, please? And it's March, and they're going, oh, I'll give you a decision in June. What? Sorry, what?
Again, you're talking foreign language, mate. Yes, straight away. You're right. You're right. You've got to have some level of consistency at the club. All success is built on that. There's foundations put in place. There's a way of doing things. And what is our way of doing things at the moment? The only way we have is being inconsistent. We'll change the style of play, style of manager. We'll go with director of football, no director of football, back to another director of football. Entirely different mindset on the new one. One will go for defensive.
Hang on, Southampton have equalised apparently, Coover. Sorry to cut you off, mate.
Yeah,
it's not. They haven't. It's not. It's a penalty though to Southampton, is what it is though.
So hang on, why are people saying 3-3 if it's not 3-3?
Oh, it's what people do. But I think I've just seen they've got a penalty though.
Why?
I haven't seen it yet on my stream, but there is a penalty to Southampton.
I tell you what, if we don't win this after having been 3-1 up against the team bottom of the table, that is shocking. By the way,
disgraceful.
Again, hang on, let's have a look.
Somebody came
on. Yeah. I've just seen it. If that is given as a penalty, that is an absolute disgrace. By the way,
has it been given or not?
I don't know. It must have gone to VAR because it's.
Anyone in the chat who's
is that
on
a handball?
That is. Have you seen it? It's a ridiculous. Is it his shoulder?
Højbjerg?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Højbjerg?
No, it's not for that. I don't think. It's not for that.
No, it's not. It's another one, and it's equally as bad, by the way.
It's not. Hang on. Can people in the chat let us know? Please don't put. Please don't put. Hang on. Please don't put fake scores in the chat. Yeah. Please. Otherwise,
I think I'll see what.
I think I've seen it as well.
Yeah, I'm just seeing it now.
Looks like far more regulation sort of foul, doesn't it?
So it's Emerson Royale, I think.
Can someone confirm then? Hang on. Can someone confirm? Is it a penalty?
It's been confirmed. Yeah.
It's a penalty, right? And has it been taken?
No, not yet. I don't think so. I haven't got that far ahead.
And was it Papa Sarr who's given it away?
Papa Sarr.
After just coming on.
Yeah, Papa Sarr.
Oh, I love
He was lucky there, to be fair. Do
you know what? When are England going to catch up with the rest of the world and just show all the games live?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
Better still, why can't you subscribe to just watch your team's games?
Yeah, absolutely.
Bang on.
It's so they can get highlights on there and stuff. I think. I don't know what it's all about.
No, it's all about the football blackout, isn't it, on a Saturday? But football's evolved since the whole point of that. Do you know what I mean?
So right, Mark, just to confirm, they have scored. Right, okay, they've scored. Everyone's saying they've scored. I'll tell you what. I'm on Football Terrace in 6 minutes representing Spurs. I will unleash the truth on all these fans that keep
I'm going as well.
But Savva, I've been telling them on that show for a long time.
Alex, do you know why they'll listen to me and not you though?
Why?
No, I'm only joking. No, they won't. No, listen, Alex, I went on there the other day. On a serious note, Alex,
You
I
smashed
went
it.
on there.
You absolutely.
I went on there the other day.
I saw it, Bob. You smashed
and
it.
what
Absolutely
happened was the other Spurs fans on the panel hated it because what I was saying wasn't, oh my God, we're amazing. This is brilliant. And basically, because I said I refused to laugh at Chelsea, right?
Yeah.
Now, they didn't get it. And I said, well, hang on. Chelsea are the most decorated football club in this country in the last 2 decades, right?
Yeah.
Chelsea have won 19 trophies in 20 years.
Yeah.
And they're going, oh, we're above them, right? Right?
Bob, he
So
smashed
what?
it. I saw it. I saw it all.
Right,
Big up to Patrick, but
people in the chat, there's 104 of you in the chat across Twitch and across YouTube. Who hasn't subscribed? Please subscribe. Help us get to where we're going to, man.
Come on, guys.
Show some love. Show some love. Just show some love, people. Look, surely we've got what have we got left? Hang on mine. Yeah, James Ward-Prowse is just. Oh, Jesus, that was a penalty and a half, wasn't it,
It
guys?
was an unreal penalty.
I'd take him. I'd sit him in midfield, and I'd let him get us 10 extra points a year just through free kicks alone.
I like
Madison
more. I like Madison more to be on
Oh,
the
yeah, but they're different. But I take both. Don't forget, Madison plays in front of where Ward-Prowse plays. I'd take both alongside Bentancur. How about this? Bentancur, James Ward-Prowse with Madison in the hole.
Mm-hmm. Bang on.
Yeah, now you're talking.
Bang on.
Bit of passing going on there.
People tell me that we should be looking better than players like Ward-Prowse.
Here's Virgil van Dijk again. Oh, absolutely fantastic. Virgil van Dijk again. Example, fantastic defending. I love him so much.
We've basically we've just gifted away 2 points here.
So hang on, just quickly, M. Dot. When you say 2 bottom 3 teams he's dropped points to, is this Wolves? Are Wolves in the bottom 3 at the moment, guys? Have they slipped into the bottom? I tell you what, I'm being lazy. I really could just look myself. 1 second. Live standings.
No, Leicester aren't in there because it's. But we didn't lose to Bournemouth, did we? And West Ham are now down there. But that's just. I can't believe we're dropping points here. That especially. Do you know what's even worse? We're 3-1 up. It's an absolute gift, man.
Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Guys, look, we are. When the full-time whistle does go, I will be ending the stream. But listen, hope everyone's enjoyed it. I like this. This is better than it's full-time.
It's better than just watching the game, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It is better than just watching it. Wolves aren't in the bottom 3, but I get. I agree with you. We've gone away to Wolves, away to Southampton, and played Nottingham Forest.
What will happen?
And
what will happen
forget
on the
Leicester.
football terrace? What will happen on the football terrace? What will happen on the football terrace? They'll start talking about Levy. That's what they'll do. They'll talk about Levy.
Alex, tune in. I'm going to be on there. You know I'm not going to let that happen.
No. But I know you won't. I know you won't because I know you. I absolutely know you. You know what I mean? But what they'll do, they'll start talking about Levy. You know what I mean? That's what annoyed me. Just like, let's talk about Levy because Levy's this. And I'm like, well, okay, the players are there, not Levy. So the players are there. So you can, sorry. You know what I mean? 3-1 up, and you should be bloody taking this game to the floor. You know what I mean? Sorry, but that's what's going to happen. I know that's going to happen. You know what I mean? Sorry,
Yeah. All right, guys and girls, it's been absolutely brilliant. Kuva, thank you very much for joining. Mr. Box Office, thank you for coming on the last hour. Perchy, thank you as always. I'm about to go and have a mud bath again because Spurs have managed between Leicester, Wolves, and Southampton to get 1 point. Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, and that's a top manager. Look, guys, it is what it is. Much love. Thank you all. I'll see you're all welcome as always tomorrow night. Anyone in the stream we'll be doing the Spurs review tomorrow night, 7:00. See you there. Much love. Goodbye. In the mud.
Peace.
Mud.